What is up? It's AJ with the Chakra Network, and if you have not heard about the Chakra Network, we are an anime and manga podcast tapping in with the community. And obviously, if you wish to be a future guest on our show, smash that job application in the description below. And again, if you are an anime fan or a manga reader, go smash that subscribe button, hit that like button, and ring that notification bell so you will be notified every single time we drop some content. But without further ado, let's get into it.
If you are not from Konoha and I sense your chakra, I'm busting my Rasengan. Abandon his gang, slash his headband.
So what are we chopping it up about today? And who we got on the show today? We actually got our first guest on the show. You want to introduce yourself, my guy?
Okay, my name's John. I don't know what else to say.
Where you from?
Where you from? Come
up to the mic, man. So you hear you,
all right. So my name's John. I'm from California, raised in Connecticut. I just watch anime casually now. I used to be more of a hardcore supporter a couple months ago to a couple years back. Other than that, I just be chilling. I don't really do nothing.
Okay.
I really don't.
Shit, I feel that.
That's good enough.
We all do.
Nah, no cap though. But y'all didn't see everybody else. Everybody been on the show before. We got my boy Kenny, Caleb, and Garland. Y'all already know what time it is.
Hey, what it do, Chakra Crew?
What it do? So the first topic of today we feel like is going to be hilarious is what are some of the worst beatdowns in anime history? And we could go, it don't even matter. We don't got to go in any specific order.
You
Who
go
want to
first,
go first?
bro. You go first.
The best one, or the one that I can think of the most, was definitely Gon versus Pito.
Pito. Oh, Gon versus Pito. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's you.
Oh my God.
Her face at the end. She was in the tree.
What?
You see her teeth?
Oh my God.
Nigga, you see her?
You see like one little.
Bro, the fact that Gon was like, first of all, he did all that shit for Kite. And he was like, Kite, I finished the job just like you said to. While he was crying.
Bro, that nigga matured to the point where his fucking shorts were booty shorts.
Cuz had the tallest fade I've ever seen, bro. Like, that shit was crazy.
Dude,
that shit was
Hot Top
all the way
was-
up in the
That was a
fucking
skyscraper
sky.
top whole time.
Nah, that was.
I
No
I don't
bullshit.
even
Bro.
think that was skyscraper. I think that shit was everlasting.
Yeah, bruh.
Nigga,
She
hair
literally
extended.
took that. She took that man's arm off, and he just kept pounding away. He just like, fuck it, it's just my arm. I'm about to just kill you. Like, you took away Kite. I gotta get a job
When he
done.
took away his other arm, he just looked at his shit.
Like,
Like,
literally, like he just looked at it and just fucking.
Didn't even phase him.
He just spamming Joe Gon Rock the whole time on the dead body. Just
But it was insane.
and
Like,
he do it with no arm too.
yeah, bro. He did that one arm though. Wasn't he
That's
just
what caused
spamming?
that big ass explosion.
That was
that was fast. Like he did a John Ken with no arm. What? Like y'all know, like y'all ever had like siblings or family members that get cry when they start crying when they be fighting?
Yeah.
But that's literally what Gon was doing. That's literally what Gon was doing. He was crying while beating her ass, bro, and smashed her into the fucking tree. Killua pulled out. He was like, Gon? He was like, yeah, Killua.
He was about to like cry. He was like, yeah, who the fuck is this?
Man, imagine if he did that shit to the king. If he was fighting Miriam.
Oh,
Like,
shit.
bro, just
I don't think that shit
imagine.
would happen.
No,
I don't think that shit.
I heard some shit saying that Pito really did think that he would be the only person, one of the only few
a threat.
people
That would have been on par.
that would have
Yeah.
been able to threaten King Merom.
Yeah.
They actually showed that in the anime if you pay attention. That's why she was so scared and worried because she was like, holy, who the fuck? No, the king. Like, so that's why she started panicking like that. That's when she started panicking to kill him so fast because she was like, yo, she can kill, he know how he's acting towards the king. Like, they had the only thing is the concern is the king. Her whole like switch changed. She's like, oh shit. Like, she might can hurt him.
Like, thank God it was me.
And they depicted that throughout the anime.
Do y'all think that he would have been able to?
Wait.
Do y'all think he would have been able to compete with? Like, remember when the king died? But then you remember when what's the butterfly guy?
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, you remember when he gave him some of his energy, and then Yuppie gave him some more of his energy. But that's when he kind of evolved.
Right.
Do you think?
Nah, he wouldn't have touched Meron Reborn.
You don't-
He was only beating base Meron.
Okay.
Bro, Meron Reborn was on a whole nother level. That nigga's end was basically like omnipresent. Like he can just teleport to wherever a threat was at. And he had the Yuppie blast. It was like that shit was.
But with Gon's personality though, like I don't think that was. I think we never even really got to see how powerful he
Gon
could
was?
be like. I'm pretty sure it would have grown in a way throughout the fight.
His end, well, I'm saying like Gon's end wasn't developed enough. Well, they say that Gon did this because he wanted to be like Kite, but I believe if his end was developed enough, even at his mature state, he would have sensed dead Pito try to attack him, and his arm would have been cut off. But they say that he did it as a
He
memento
did.
of Kite.
He definitely did that because of Kite.
Right.
But see, they even also said when he transformed like that, that's like his max potential of what his body would
Yeah,
like
that's
if he
right.
That
actually
is true.
trained.
That
So
is
they
true.
literally said that's what he would look like potential wise. So something like that's why she was so scared. Like, oh shit, like she can really get the king a run for his money.
Yeah, that shit's crazy.
Cause that was his max potential if he like literally trained from that time period to that adult body. That's what he would look like if he trained like that.
Do y'all think that that's what he's gonna look like though when he's like a full grown?
Nah, not necessarily, but that's like
Nah,
the
I think
max
that
potential.
I think that would have been the case, but again, it also would have mattered on whether his like he outputted his nen to its max potential and not just his body as well. Because if his nen was at like his full blown potential to where he was like ultimate level or some shit, then I think he would have been able to rival Meruem and probably been well enough if they decided to take him to like the Dark Continent. He would have been fine.
Damn.
So I got a question for y'all real quick.
What's up?
And then we can continue on with the subject.
For sure.
Do y'all think that Hunter x Hunter, like with that scene with Gon transforming, into an adult, do y'all think that was a little bit of like inspiration that they kind of grasped from Dragon Ball GT? Because if you think about Goku, like
yes,
you know what I mean?
4?
Yeah. Because I kind of did a little research on that, right? So the whole thing with the Dark Star Dragon Balls and shit, how
Right.
they made that a wish, that he was, what was his name? Emperor Pilaf or something like that.
Yeah, Pilaf.
He's like, I wish that you were like back to how you were back then, because then I could have taught you a lesson. So I did a little research. This is just a theory though. It might have been a fan theory, but it was saying something in the lines like Super Saiyan 4 was so powerful that when he transformed into Super Saiyan 4, the magic that was cast on him
Was too weak.
It was too weak. So he was able to that's why he was able to like transform into an adult, because like when he transformed to Super Saiyan 3, because he was like so young, he even said himself that like this immense power is Super Saiyan 3, I can't like uphold it because it's too much for my body. And then when he transformed into Super Saiyan 4, like that, I'm about to go on the tangent, man. Like I'm not even going to talk further into that, but I kind of think Hunter x Hunter might have been inspired by that, despite people not really fucking with Dragon Ball GT.
It's not canon.
I wish it was
canon.
though. Looking at the way Super went, I kind of wish it was.
Nah, no bullshit. Super Saiyan 4 was like definitely one of the best Super Saiyans.
That might be the best form.
Yeah, that's facts.
In my opinion.
That's facts. I fuck with Super Saiyan 4.
I got another beatdown for y'all,
Go ahead.
bro. When Madara came
And fought the
ninjas.
Shinobi Alliance. Yeah, for sure. Nobody even touched him. And then when Tamari tried to blow him with the fan, he just dusted that shit off. That shit was crazy.
That was a fire ass introduction though, because
Without a doubt.
throughout the entire series, you just keep hearing people talk about Madara, and then here he is, and it's like he's beating the shit out of all these ninja. Like that shit is crazy.
Our
Just
first
him.
introduction to him was actually when Sasuke and Naruto fought the second time, when he was just a statue. At the final valley. That's their first
yeah.
like introduction to
Yeah.
Madara in general.
Yeah.
And Hashirama when they fought there.
Yeah.
But we didn't get to see him until like years after that.
Yeah, I mean, like in the lines of like actually seeing him, like
Right.
a physical embodiment of him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like just seeing him and like this motherfucker like doing all these moves and shit. Like it's just he was like a one man army. Like
Yeah,
that's
that's
basically
facts.
what this shit was.
Nah, he had no teammate. I don't think he ever had a teammate.
No,
except
he
like his
didn't.
brother.
He always,
in the past.
no, he always
Obito.
fought by himself, basically.
Yeah, bro.
Obito wasn't a teammate though. Obito was like a lackey doing all the like to
Dirty
do
work,
list type
yeah,
shit
dirty work.
while he was playing. While he was waiting until his like big show time.
That's right.
'Cause
But
if
would
I
you
was
still
being honest-
would you
huh?
still kind of consider that as him being like a teammate in a sense?
No,
because it's
Nah, he's a pawn.
Because there's a difference
He's
between
controlling him.
like I don't want to bring Star Wars into this. Is a difference between like being the boss and then your lackeys under you doing the dirty work,
Yeah.
versus you and one other person being on par and then just doing everything together. Because
Right.
if Madara wanted to get rid of Toby, he would have just killed him and done whatever he needed to if he felt like it.
Right.
But he was like, nah, I'm gonna let you do that stuff. I'm gonna do my thing, and when I'm able to like, or when I feel like doing, the real shit, that's when I'm gonna pop up.
Yeah.
Griffith.
Griffith?
Yeah, that's what I'm comparing it to.
Ah, yeah. Yeah.
Like, elaborate.
Yeah, why though?
I don't watch Berserk. I just say that shit because he has the same personality type.
Bro, listen. We put up a poll.
I tried to let him cook. I was like, hold on.
I was gonna say a better beatdown instead of him versus the entire Ninja Alliance.
the Kage.
When
bro.
he actually was like, so do you want my
I want to talk about the Susanoo.
Yeah.
He literally was like, it's 5-on-1. He was just like, how about we up the stakes?
Double the odds.
Would you want like 5 of me versus each one, or you want 5 full power Susanoo versus each one? Pick. And it's just like, what? And
Bro, they didn't even answer.
And he just put 5 Susanos for each Kage. And it's just like, nigga, how much
Wood
chakra you
style
got?
Susanoo on top of that.
But that's the thing. Like, why? What was her name, man?
Tsunade?
No, man. She came out of nowhere, bro. She was like the mother of like.
Oh, Kaguya?
Why the hell
Kaguya?
would they have her as the?
Because he was too overpowered.
He
The
didn't know how
author
to
said
kill
he
him.
didn't know how to kill him off properly. There was no proper way to
That's
kill him off, so he
Bruh.
had to hold him. In order
Man,
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
But then just ended like that. Ended with Madara
They
being the
wouldn't have
main
he wouldn't
villain.
have been able to.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. The way that Naruto went, it was literally Obito, Madara, Kaguya, Sasuke. Like
That's
it
right.
was no like I kind of
There's no break in between.
Yeah, like I kind of liked it because it's like you never knew what was coming. Like you never knew what was
right.
coming. That was crazy to me.
Because it shift from
It
Obito
was-
being the villain to Madara, then Kaguya. It was
Out of
like,
nowhere,
it's
and
just
then
like,
back
all right.
and then back to Sasuke, and it was just like,
That's right.
like when Sasuke did that whole shit at the end, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, no bullshit. Started, he fucking put all the tail beasts under his genjutsu and then just said, hey, Naruto, come on. Let's
Literally,
let's
after
shit
an
gang."
Let's
entire
fight. Let's
war.
see if I need to be Hokage.
Bro, right after they worked together to kill off the bit.
Literally.
Literally.
I'm not gonna lie,
So-
that was some big ass hoe shit though.
It was.
Because like, if he was really on some shit, he would have been like, "No, I'm gonna fight him by myself, and then I'm gonna fight you." But instead, he was like, "No, let's team up first, and then let me fight him." It was like, come on,
Yeah, exactly. Like you
Kinda
think
acting
like during the fight with Kaguya, he was just thinking about that the whole time.
He probably was. He was just like, yo, as soon as this in, I'm winning his ass.
he was thinking about that before he even showed up.
Oh, he was. 'Cause
Yeah.
he did come up and was like, "I want to be Hokage."
He was like, I'm going to be
And everybody
Hokage.
looked at everybody
Like,
looked at
nigga,
him.
what? Where you come from?
Bro, that shit is hilarious.
Man, so-
go ahead. Sunday, you got one.
Man, this beatdown, this shit was fucked up. It was in Dragon Ball Z, bruh. Videl versus that bruh. Videl versus that steroid bald head taking, bruh. Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
That was crazy. That might have been worse than when Kid Buu was beating the shit out of Vegeta.
Yeah, facts.
That was crazy. Bro,
His name was Spopovich. That's what it was.
Spopovich, some
Popovich.
shit.
Yep.
Goddamn Russian nigga. Bro, beating the shit out of this girl, man. I'm like, yo.
Oh.
She was sliding. Bro, she was about to fall out. Like they're yelling on the sideline. They like, bruh, just fall out of the fucking ring. Why you keep fighting?
He didn't let her ass. He punched her and then
Bruh.
stopped her from falling out of the
grabbed
ring.
her leg, grabbed her leg, said, bitch, get your ass back in that motherfucking ring. You think I'm done?
And kept fucking her up.
Kept fucking her up, bro.
Gohan in the stands.
He
like,
was beating the shit, bro. Had her crying. I
Yeah, he
swear,
did.
like my eyes were
he
starting
did,
to well
though.
up.
He did though.
He was, bro. Had her crying.
Yeah, he
That's how
did.
bad he was beating her. I'm like, damn, that ass whooping was
Bro,
crazy.
Goku was like, Gohan, no.
That man
stop.
was- but Gohan
Don't
was
do
getting
it."
mad.
Bro, that whole thing pissed me off, and let me tell you why. Even though the Kais were quote unquote like justified, they really won't. I don't think so. But the fact Gohan was like, "Fuck this shit, I'm gonna go save my girlfriend."
Wife. Yeah.
This nigga gets on the ring, and the Kais is like, "You know what? Paralyzed," and it's like, "Oh shit, wonderful," and just fucking take his. That's the wrong nigga's key to take to get a Majin Buu. It was like really, nigga.
Bruh, no bullshit. But that fight was gruesome for real. Like I miss the old Dragon Ball. Like Super is, oh man, even with Goku, like if you see some of those fire ass scenes with Goku, bro, especially when like the DBZ Goku, okay, he fucked up with Frieza, and he definitely fucked up with Cell when he gave Cell those sensu beans, right. But I think he learned from that shit when it came to Boo. He was not playing. He actually was scared of Boo when Boo had that big ass blast and was about to fire that shit. And it was like, yeah, nah, we can't handle that. Like, he was like, nah, we're gonna have to kill him. Like, there is no having fun with this nigga. Like, we're gonna have to kill him. And then Super, it's like, there's no character development, if anything.
No, that's fast. I agree with that. I mean, the only character I really fucked with in Super, to be honest, was Android 17.
Really?
Yeah, he had a redemption arc basically in Super. Like, they just like they made him that guy. I always low key liked him, but it's just like they just made him important. Like, yo, it's just like, yo, he's relevant. I was like, shit.
Infinite energy. Yeah,
he was chill as fuck.
Yeah, I like how they set up the teams as far as like picking who needs to be a part of that tournament. Like, I like that. That was very insightful as far as like who's good at what and who can basically like contribute to the team and potentially help them win. Okay. Which eventually they did. They ended up winning.
That's facts. Took a lot, but they got there. But worst anime beatdown in my mind is when Kabuto was fucking up Tsunade and she wasn't fighting back.
Was it because she was scared of blood?
It was because she was scared of blood, but he was beating her shit down. Like, he was stumping her out. Like, it was like, if you go back and watch that shit, Tsunade was like, oh, bro. Like, he literally stumping her. He's like, fight back. Oh, the blood's scaring you, huh? Bro, and then Naruto had to step. First of all, 12-year-old Naruto, who's underrated, just steps up. And then, mind you, Kabuto is relative to Kakashi at the time. That's what they're saying. And then just steps up and then just 1v1s Kabuto. And masters Rasengan within a week to win the bet against Tsunade. Yeah, within a week. Mind you, Kabuto is a healing ninja too. So he has like this really, really good healing mechanism or whatever he can do. And Naruto bypasses that with his Rasengan because he did too much damage for him to heal. And bro, that shit was OP as fuck. Well, y'all gotta go watch that fight. That shit's like
Naruto held that down too, bro. He took a whole kunai to the hand. To the hand.
Like, bro. Through the hand. He was like, oh, you're not going nowhere. What? Nah, that shit wild.
I wouldn't say this is the worst beat down, but this is randomly popping my head. But y'all familiar with Baki, right?
Yeah.
So, Baki versus Muhammad Ali, bro.
Yeah. Now that I'm gonna be honest, that pissed me off because they hyped them up to the point where I thought it was gonna be actually a good fight.
When they met with Yujiro, bro, he disrespected Yujiro. Like, yeah, I thought Ali was gonna have some shit, bro.
Bro, they were hyping Muhammad Ali Jr. up for the longest, and then as soon as he got to Baki, he was getting his ass whooped. Like, I'm talking, he was getting his shit ran. Like, one point he held him up a little bit. I was just like, damn, that nigga's fucked up. I'm like, yo,
this nigga Josiah FaceTiming.
Yeah, he called me. I'm about to we're gonna call him in from Colin's phone.
Bro, who did he fight first? Did he fight his brother first, or was that after?
I can't recall. I don't recall. But we about to call in Josiah from the Chakra Network to see what he think about the worst anime beatdown. What's good, my guy?
What's going on, brother?
Yo, how y'all brothers doing?
Shoot, chilling, man, chilling. We actually I want to introduce you real quick. So this is Josiah from the Chakra Network. If you can introduce yourself real quick, tell us why you fuck with the anime and the anime community, my guy.
All right, as he said before, my name is Josiah. How did I get into anime? I think I got into anime just like a lot of you all probably got into anime late nights watching Toonami, probably catching the dub version of Naruto before y'all even know what the fuck that was. Of course, everybody liked Dragon Ball Z before they knew that was even considered anime.
Facts.
But over time, me having a background in martial arts, if you catch anime here and there, you're going to gravitate to it quicker because there's nothing really like anime that highlights martial arts like anime does. And then over time, from the ages of 11, 12 to now I'm 24.
Facts.
Just got into anime deep, and then having us, I feel like a big part of the reason some of us probably even became friends is probably because of
without a doubt.
our love to anime. So, yeah, that's me, Josiah from the Chakra Network. Nice to meet y'all. Good to be on the show.
For sure,
Yes, sir.
my guy.
So look, man, we got a question for you, man.
What's up?
Speak about the most gruesome beatdown out of any anime that you've ever watched.
What is the most gruesome?
The most gruesome, like the most horrific, like who basically was eating up them hands for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Who got their ass whooped?
Worse than anybody else? That's a good one because a lot of people got their ass whooped. I wouldn't say this is the worst one, but one that comes to mind is Shikamaru versus what? Is it Hidara?
Oh, he died. Oh, fuck.
It's not like it was the most gruesome because he couldn't even really feel pain that much. It was just the fact that how he died. Right now, they're Boruto. I'm not really following Boruto that much, but you could only assume he's still buried under there alive.
Yeah, just
That's
sitting
facts.
there tortured.
Yeah.
And nobody would ever. I don't think. Who knows he's there except Shikamaru? And you know that nigga. You know that nigga didn't fucking unbury him. So
Shikamaru probably forgot where the fuck he hit the head. OT.
But gruesome. This is not an anime, but just a gruesome animation in general. I would say I don't know if you Devilman Crybaby.
Yeah, that's still considered anime. That's anime.
Yes, bro.
What is that? Is that Japanese made?
Yeah, it's anime. Yeah, because they had an original series too as well.
I think I watched the dub. I'm not sure if I watched.
You probably watched the newer reboot. That's why you didn't know if it was anime or not. That's still anime.
Yeah, that's gruesome.
Yeah,
that
whole series is gruesome as shit.
Yeah, that whole. So in terms of gruesome, I'll say that.
Yeah, the further they go, it just gets more gruesome and crazy.
Worse and worse,
like,
bro.
yo, what the fuck is going on?
It's raunchy as fuck.
Because I watched the original of the series and it's just like, yo, what the fuck? And like the reboots, the other just I'm not saying the reboot. I'm like, damn, well, it's still fucked up.
Oh, Netflix? That's the reboot?
So on Netflix is the reboot. They had an original one back in the 90s. Like it was an original anime because it had a Devilman Cryberry and a Devil Lady. So for you to get
talking about it.
Yeah, so for you get in the Devil Lady, you got to understand Devilman because they'll kind of spoil a little bit of Devil Lady.
I got you.
Hey Josiah, so before you hopped on, we talked about me, Garland, Caleb, and Kenny. We all brought up some ass whoopings. One of them was Vidal versus Spopovich, when Spopovich was beating Vidal's ass and didn't let her get out the ring and just kept fucking her up. And then Caleb said Gon versus Pito when Gon fucked Pito up. Garland was saying Baki versus Muhammad Ali.
Oh,
Muhammad Ali Jr., that shit was crazy.
And I was saying when Kabuto was stumping out Tsunade. You got one.
that one was more funny than anything.
Yeah, that's what I said. You got
She's supposed to be a Hokage level, get her ass whacked.
Bro, fucked up. That shit was crazy.
Y'all remember?
So is Kabuto back then? Is he supposed to be Hokage level then? Kage level?
He was relative to Kakashi, is what they said. And I was saying that that means Naruto was like different back then because he basically 1v1 Kabuto.
When they said Kabuto was
Kakashi's
Kakashi's level?
Yeah, that's what he was back then.
All I'm going to say is Kakashi would have whacked that nigga. That's all I'm going to say.
Caleb says that Kabuto wasn't relative to Kakashi in the original Naruto series.
Not that I like. If I was just looking at it, that's probably true, but nothing from what I could gain could.
Well, Kakashi got way stronger, and it still was a series progressed anyway. So.
Yeah,
I know he did, but I know that he was on par with Zabuza. I know that I know those two weren't on par.
Maybe more strategic wise, not just like kind of like skill level and power. More like he's like really like a thinker. So maybe his mindset.
Maybe that's what we're talking about.
Him waxing Tsunade wasn't the inclination of me saying, "Oh, look how powerful Kabuto is." I'm saying, how the fuck was Tsunade Kage level back then? She got waxed by Kabuto.
That's facts.
That is facts.
Fucking Orochimaru, if memory serves, Orochimaru mentioned it. He said, "Oh, you're no stronger than Kabuto," or something like that.
Oh, he did say something like that.
But also, Kabuto, don't sleep on Kabuto because Kabuto got through that fucking jutsu that Tsunade used that did the fucking electricity shit in his brain. He was like, if I move my right shoulder, then my left foot twitches.
Oh yeah.
If I move my right thumb, then I can move this. And then the fact that he was able to calculate all that within like the span of 10 seconds. I'm like, bro, what?
See?
Wait, so was
strategic mindset. That's what I was referring
Was
to.
he actually older than everybody?
Kabuto?
Yeah.
Nah, him and Kakashi were like around the same age.
They were around the same age. What, Kakashi? Wasn't he like...
I think Kakashi is older than
Kakashi's definitely older than Kabuto. Kabuto's like
Itachi's age?
like Naruto's age is Shippuden, like those, like that
Kabuto's
17.
like 16,
Yeah, 16, 17.
Oh, shit.
That's what I'm saying.
Naruto's
That's
like
that's-
12 or 13.
So
Kakashi
he's like a 4-year.
Damn.
Old as shit.
I don't think he being Kakashi though. I'm sorry. I don't think he being Kakashi.
No, Kakashi actually will whoop Kabuto's ass, but it's
That's my
because of the times that they have to like make a simile to who you know as powerful in the series.
Okay.
So
that
it's
makes
like,
sense.
If they were to have actually fought, Kakashi would have just used his Sharingan and he probably would have fucked him up in like maybe an episode and a half.
Y'all, everybody seen Jujutsu Kaisen though, right?
Yeah.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah.
You remember the fight between Itadori and Nanami versus Mihito?
That wasn't
That
an
was
ass,
another
that
one I
was
was
that was a
thinking of.
jumping, but that wasn't an ass whooping because once he opened up his
when he
domain expansion, shit became like all the way to his side.
I think it was still a good ass.
I mean, he was. Hey, before that though, he was definitely.
Oh yeah, no,
That was an ass whooping, bruh. They made a whole meme off this shit.
that was
Fight back, nigga. Fight back, bruh. That was an ass whooping.
Spiritual ass whooping because that's what got him to open up his domain.
No
expansion.
bullshit. I think he said that was his first time using it. Or
It
something.
was
Like they forced him to use.
getting close to death from that ass whooping is what caused
Bro,
him to.
they had
open up his domain
Mahito
expansion.
scared. They had that man Mahito scared, bruh. That man was.
Not only that, Mahito got his ass beat by Sukuna. Right. As he got
he
into the-
Well, I don't
'cause-
remember them fighting, but he did. Somehow he was able.
He didn't really beat his ass. He bitched him because
Yeah.
he told him, "Yo, don't come into my space again, or else I'm gonna kill you." And
Yeah.
then he came into his space because Itadori they come as a package deal. And then he was on some. Yeah, I told you not to come into my space again.
Yeah.
So now I gotta kill you.
Right.
Slit his throat, let him scurry off.
Right.
he almost killed him. He literally almost killed him with that one flash. He almost like literally killed him. So he got his ass beat, and they thought he had a 1-up, and they got his ass beat by Sukuna on accident.
Mahito is fucking terrible though. Like he is fucking terrible. He's disgusting too.
Who as a person or?
Bro, just overall, like he is a curse that's basically like he's like the embodiment of everything wrong with humans. That's how he came about.
For real?
Yes, he's fucking terrible.
Damn, that shit
His
crazy.
power alone is.
Are you talking based off of just the anime?
No, like that's like overall, like both manga and anime.
Okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was gonna say in the manga, this dude just different.
When they
he's in
animate
his
that shit,
infancy
season 2 when it come out, man. Oh, in that Shibuya incident arc, oh my god, he played his part. He played his part.
His power in general, like just as a basis, is just evil as fuck. Like his power is literally to manipulate and contort souls.
Bro.
So they're literally getting tortured, and he can keep them alive just in that status.
Which is crazy.
Like he can make them as small as a penny or as big as a building, and like he'll feel all that shit.
Right.
And take over their soul.
I just thought of another one.
What's even worse is he's doing this shit all while he's still in his infancy state. So he's not even like at his full potential.
Yeah. Yeah. You later on see that too. You later on see that. Yeah.
So I just thought of another ass whooping. Fucking Yusuke Urameshi when he turned into the Mazoku versus fucking Sensui.
That ass whooping was different. Because that nigga took over his body and was fucking him up. And then he shit that blast off, and after he got fucked up, then he went to switch. He's like, no, you just can't go out like this. What are you doing? Like, yo, you cannot go out. Just like, wake up, damn it, I gotta do it. He was like,
what was his name? Because he was like, man, this motherfucker playing around too much. Let me go ahead and just end this shit, bro. Like,
it was his ancestral father. Like, he just took over. He's like, you fucking
what's his
around.
name? Rizuku or something?
Rising. Yeah, bro,
Bro.
that shit was wild. He beat him so bad that once Yusuke gained consciousness, he was like, bro, no.
I can't win like this.
Rising, it's crazy. That man went on a whole.
Risen's name is so sick.
Right, that shit is
I've always liked the name Ryzen. That shit is hard.
tough as a bitch.
Ryzen.
You know, I don't know if this is considered an ass whooping. It could be a dual ass whooping, but the first battle, at the end of the series of Naruto, not Naruto Shippuden, Naruto versus Sasuke. Oh my god!
Oh shit!
Damn nigga, bro.
That was just a good ass fight.
Sasuke, this nigga Sasuke did fireball jutsu against Naruto like directly in his face, and then he jumped off a mountain and tombstoned him like his
in the
head
ground. I thought he was dead.
to the
Bro.
ground.
I thought he was dead.
Let's not forget.
His body went limp.
Let's not.
Rock Lee's move.
No, that was nobody's move.
Oh, he just
did that shit. Like my imagine somebody's head in between your feet. You're falling hundreds of miles. You're like 100-mile altitude in the air, and you're falling, and you land head first into the stone. Bro, his body looked like contorted.
Limp. He literally like I'll drive his face into like literally a mountain.
Like I
like,
slightly
broke
remember it.
Bro, it was bad, bro.
That bro, if any of y'all get bored, y'all have time. Go look at that first fight. It is probably one of the most brutal fights in the whole series.
For sure.
The
very first one.
Yeah,
The
The
kids.
second one, he said this.
This is before Naruto gets his Nine Tails cloak or his first tail, whatever you want to call it, his QB cloak.
Yeah.
Before
the second one.
before Sasuke got his Kurch Mark transformation, they were just hands, just straight hands. And those niggas was beating like they looked like they was
that animation was great. That was great animation, man.
I think somebody on like YouTube or Instagram tried to clean up that animation.
Oh, that's tough.
With the
Yeah, like
Naruto versus Sasuke.
yeah, and like revise one of those fights to just make it look a little bit more modern.
That's tough.
What's your most like gruesome
All right,
beatdown?
I think I have two, unless I just forgot the second one. But I was thinking, no, I remember them both. This one is more. They're more like a one versus many. Kid Buu versus the Heaven.
Who was the green dude's name that tried to shoot a
Pecan?
Yeah, Pecan. He tried to shoot a Kai blast at Kid Buu, and he was like, "Yeah, good shit." Everybody was like, "Yeah, good shit."
Bro.
Kid Buu healed up, bro.
They were not ready for that shit, man. They were not. No. Kid Buu is just fucking terrible. Everybody bringing up Kid Buu, bro. Like he's just fucking terrible.
That's why I had the
to
second
town.
one that was a little bit more realistic, and that one would be King Bradley versus Fort Briggs troops in Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist.
The homunculi.
Full Metal Alchemist
Oh my
is the
god.
goated anime that's not an anime. Technically, it's not.
It's not, why
No,
is it not
it's an anime. It has a manga series. It's an anime.
It is not. It's American made.
No,
It's not.
the mangaka is Asian.
Yeah, it's
Anyway.
manga agent. Yeah.
So y'all consider it an anime?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I always thought it was.
It's not. Okay, do y'all consider Avatar anime?
No.
No, that one's not. That one was American made.
I mean, it looked like it's in the same style.
I fuck with
Full
Avatar
Metal-
so much that I mean,
Full Metal Alchemist is American made too,
No, it's not.
the mangaka is Japanese.
though. Oh, okay. I guess I was wrong.
I need
Okay.
to. I
I
need to see
learn
that,
something
though.
new every day, but nigga, bro, King Bradley was fucking up everybody, even other homunculi. He was fucking up my favorite character, Greed. Like I was like, bro, like somebody got to handle this dude, bro.
Yeah, no, that was a crazy fight.
You know who they killed off too fast? The Alchemist in the beginning, the ice and water one. Looking back on it, his power is so OP in comparison. They killed him off so quick, so
Oh,
you
you
wouldn't
mean the dude in the
think so.
first episode?
The first episode, and he was like, he was like making people like, he was turning people's like the water in their body to steam and stuff.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Damn. What the
He was so
Yeah.
fucking OP.
King Bradley killed him off in the first episode.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, he was
King
different.
Bradley. What was the one that King Bradley I think it was a homunculi that was hiding in Alphonse, and then King Bradley found
You're
him.
talking about greed.
Envy?
Oh, it was greed. Bro, fuck.
Really badly.
Somebody was hiding in Alphonse, and King Bradley like opened Alphonse up. Mind you, Alphonse is just a hollow shell. This they put like alchemy on like a shell to bring him back. His soul
They
was
put
in
it on the suit,
in the armor.
inside the suit.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
His soul inhabits the suit, even though it's not actually in it. It's like just the body itself.
Right.
He killed one of Greed's like I don't want to say lackeys, accomplices that was trying to hide in there, and she like did some stupid shit where she tried to choke him out, and he was just like, no.
Bro, she almost got away though. Like Alphonse was actually carrying her away, and then he was like, "Nah, I'm sorry, you gotta go." That shit was crazy, and we didn't even.
Bro, we were just talking about ass whooping. Fucking Mustang fucking envy up.
Oh
We
my
snapping his
God.
finger.
That shit was crazy. He was going stupid. Mustang was going
Setting that nigga off on fire.
Homeboy said, "I could burn your bone marrow." I was like,
I know. Actually, I really was happy when that was happening. Like, now speaking of like just nasty, like I thought, what was the thing that he was fighting again? What was the name? It was Envy.
Envy.
Yeah,
It was Envy.
was just nasty looking. Like I was actually happy when he was doing that.
honestly, Mustang might have fucked up the most of them because he fucked up Envy, he fucked up Lust, and
Lust was
towards
crazy.
the end he was contributing and fucking a father too.
Lust was the one that got burnt the most, right?
No, it was Envy.
Envy. Okay,
But
okay.
Lust was the one that was like she stuck out her nail, and right before it could reach him, he just like burned her
Burned her shit up. Yeah, I remember
I
that.
feel like she had like the wackest power because fucking Gluttony. Oh my, it's so fucking OP. He had like
Gluttony
that
was
portal,
OP.
the portal Kamehameha wave
Yeah,
that just
Gluttony was
deleted.
wild.
Literally, it was like it literally just deleted anything or just transfer into that world, right?
Yeah.
Fast. Who was the black dude that could make shit explode?
The main villain, the destruction guy. I forgot his name too.
He wasn't even. He was like an anti-hero.
Yeah, he was
wasn't
towards the
Mustang.
end.
Fuck, I forgot his
What's his
forgot
name?
his
Like
name.
Scar or something?
I think
it's-
it was something.
It started with the like a C or a K. It was like
I can't remember, but his mom was blind, and then like she ran into the room with the bomb, thinking that her son was in there, and she ended up dying. You know what I'm
The
talking
Kakashi of Full Metal Alchemist.
about? Literally.
His name was
Ambu
Scar?
Kakashi. Yeah, I think it was Scar.
Scar.
Yeah, I think it was.
It was Scar.
he
Yeah,
just had
Scar.
the destructive. Scar just had like the destructive.
Yeah, he could just touch you
Alchemic
and blow you up.
tattoos.
Yeah, that shit was tough though.
No cap. Was there any ass whoopings in One Piece that y'all think about? Because one one of the
A
ones,
lot.
yeah, one of the ones I think about the most is when Luffy just went like. First of all, Luffy not a bitch, right? All of the other worst generation pirates
Kimberly.
were bitching so heavily when the Celestial Dragons were there. Luffy pulled up and punched this dude. Like, mind you, you can see his fist like winding up as he's walking up the stairs, about to punch. Everybody like, no, Luffy, don't do it, because if he punches the Celestial Dragon, then they're gonna send the Admiral out there to off everybody.
So he's like that.
He's like that. He does not get, bro.
Luffy's a demon.
Luffy's like one of the best, like, don't give a fuck protagonists ever. Like, he doesn't even care if somebody's 100 times stronger than him. He's still gonna try to fuck up whoever he wants to fuck up. It's crazy, bro.
Like, he doesn't care at all.
Whose mentality do you think is better in the sense Goku or Luffy's when it comes to just not giving a fuck?
Luffy, because Goku bitched out when Kid Buu came. Luffy would have never done that.
Luffy would just take that L.
Y'all forgetting that Goku literally was like, no, Vegeta, that blast isn't meant for us. It can blow up the world 10 times. Went and tried
Oh
to...
no, Goku!
With
Goku!
that, I think he did put fear in that motherfucker. But
Luffy never had fear in his heart, ever. Ever.
I think Goku got it, bro.
I
This
don't
nigga
think
will
so,
fight.
bro.
He will fight people no matter the consequence of the universe.
But that,
Right.
I mean, I understand that, Josiah, but the fact that he was bitching when Kid Buu showed up, Luffy never bitched before, and I gotta go off history.
But do you think
Has Luffy ever faced a nigga that could
That's
just
what I was
delete
saying. Like, that's what I
Earth
was about to say. Like,
ever?
I think the power scaling is different. Like, do you think if Luffy was in the Dragon Ball Z universe,
But you gotta
he would
scale
have
it. You gotta scale it. You gotta scale it based on their universes. So there's people in the One Piece universe that have that much of a power gap.
to- Okay.
And when Luffy faced, bro, mind you, Luffy was by himself up against 3 admirals. 3 admirals. 3 admirals like the strongest people in the Marines.
And this is pre-time skip.
Bro, literally.
He was on some. I'm gonna stay here and fight y'all, even if I get my ass.
And this is pre-time skip too. He did all this.
Okay.
No, this nigga got a crew. Where the fuck was his crew at? They just let that man hang.
That's the thing.
Here's what I say about this. I feel like Luffy still cares about his crew and shit. Like Goku, if he lose a fight or if he fights somebody, like literally everybody dies. So like it's the difference between like, hey, I'll fight these 3 admirals, and if I die, I die. Like that's Goku all the way. Goku don't really give a fuck about his life like that.
Now, yeah,
Goku died. How many times?
You remember when Goku hired Hit just to come fight him?
Right. It's Goku. I'm sure if Luffy had a villain that like would literally kill all his family members and friends, like I'm Goku would literally fight anybody. He don't give a fuck. Friend, foe. He really don't give a fuck.
I mean, that's a perk of being a Saiyan, dog.
I mean, look at even after he fought Broly, he was literally just like, "Yo, like I will teach you anything as long as you let me come back here and fight you. It doesn't matter as long as I come back and fight you."
Which is fucking crazy.
Like, he was just like, "As long as I come back and fight you, I'll give you anything you want." That's the type shit.
That bro, that is Broly. That shit is just. Dragon Ball already doesn't make sense when it comes to the power scale, and the fact that you now have Broly, who is now considered to be canon, like, bro, that is chaotic.
It is.
That is fucking chaotic. In a universe where power scaling does not make sense at all, that is chaotic.
I still had to disagree.
I love Dragon. I want to get into Dragon Ball Z
like, just on the
like so bad, but Dragon Ball Z, we can all agree. We all watch Dragon Ball Z because of the fight. Right, and to see the transformation.
Crazy.
But I mean,
the writing has been getting better. But correct me if I'm wrong. If y'all disagree,
I disagree.
Most of the writing has been so trash.
But I disagree, bro. I think the Cell arc was the Cell arc story writing to me was really good. I think the Goku Black
was it. He gave the nigga a sensu beat. How does that make sense?
No. Check me out. When Gohan went Super Saiyan 2,
that was tough.
We didn't even know Saiyans could transform. And when Goku was like, "Nah, my son I was not expecting that. That was crazy
Look
to
what
me.
They had to do.
I said we watched it for the transformations in the fight.
I know, but I'm talking about the story. Even writing that, like that storyline to me was good. Like having the whole setup with the cell games and everybody coming there from the androids. Because like first you thought 18 and 17 were going to be like the main villains and everything, right. And then all of a sudden Cell comes out of like literally nowhere. And then they started Cell games, and that was crazy. I think the Goku Black arc story and Super was actually really, really good. I actually liked the tournament of power. Like I didn't like it was like a little the pre-tournament.
That's recent though. I said recently within the past 5 years.
Talking about what, Frieza blacking everybody?
Well, yeah. That hasn't come out yet. But even back then before that, you didn't like the I thought the whole Saiyan saga was pretty well written. I thought that was pretty good.
Planet Namek, y'all fuck with
literally.
Yeah, that was
okay,
good too.
To me, the whole concept of Dragon Ball Z is dope as fuck. Like, because let's be clear, a lot of people don't understand that. They feel like, oh, it's just Key Blast and Dragon Ball Z. It used to be somewhat based on martial arts. It was. It has, and even now, even the power sets now, like it is based in so like the fighting, the concept, the influence, think about it. I'll say with us, I probably could speak for everybody here. Dragon Ball Z, before you even knew it was an anime, y'all, that was probably the first anime y'all were aware of, right?
Yeah.
For me it was Naruto, but the first
one of
them, yeah.
Like you didn't know like who Goku was before Naruto, like the yellow hair. You remember when any nigga that could draw ever,
everybody was talking about Kamehameha when you was a little kid.
But the first thing,
if y'all had the art kid in y'all class, he was drawing
Goku. Yeah,
bro, drawing that iconic
either Goku or Gaara, one of the two, bro. They was drawing either Goku or Gaara. Gaara was underrated.
I've never seen nobody draw Gaara.
Bro, somebody in my class snapped on the Gaara drawing so crazy that my teacher actually put it on the wall, and we would just look at Gaara every day, bro.
Gaara must have inspired him,
bro. Yeah, he was.
He must have inspired him.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah, so I would say Dragon Ball Z's influence is almost unmatched. Like I remember, I didn't even know what anime was. I just thought that shit was a cartoon. I remember thinking it was dope.
Yeah.
And so like I would say I love Dragon Ball Z for what it is. But as I got older, and I watched it. Them plot lines, bro. It's kind of sus. I'm not going to even hold you. When you really get into anime, you see like good story writing. I just feel like Dragon Ball Z, aside from this past 5 years, because they've been the writing has gotten like so much better. What? Like it was just like, oh, it's a threat coming, destroy the world, and like any anime that the main character dies like 12 times.
So you you didn't like the Buu saga?
I like the Buu saga because who the fuck don't like Buu and Kid Buu and Super Buu?
All right,
and
that was
Manga
good. All right, so you didn't like when the introduction of Vegeta, the Saiyan saga?
Yes, I'm saying in terms of like
that the writing was
for
good.
For instance, right? Like if we look at something newer like Jujutsu Kaisen, or we look at something like Hunter x Hunter, and we see like how intricate the power systems are, and the story is, and the plots make sense. Like and there's actually like a sense of urgency for like a character dying. Like in terms of storytelling as a genre, whether it's an anime or a movie or a Marvel comics or DC comics, I feel like the writing is really good and things like that. I'm saying Dragon Ball Z is more so. It's not fair to call it brain dead, but it's more so. It's more so. Oh fuck! Like, well, I wonder what he's going to turn into next. Oh my god! Like, what is this power level?
But I kind of disagree as far as like the writing. Like, I think Dragon Ball Z was probably like that story was probably like the best out of the entire like series. And the reason why I say it is because in Dragon Ball Z
or Dragon Ball Z.
I'm talking about like Dragon Ball Z out of like the entire Dragon Ball series. Like Dragon Ball Z, in my opinion, is like best when it comes to the writing, because in Super it all just came down to like Goku or Vegeta. Even now, if you read like the previous arcs, it's a Goku and Vegeta story now. You know, like they're not giving the flowers to any of the characters. Like Dragon Ball Z, when it came to the Cell Saga, even before that, they were building up from when Gohan was like a little boy, when he was a toddler, like how strong he could potentially be. That's facts. Like when Raditz came down to Earth that first time, and he had that scouter thing on his face, and he was like, this boy. He's at level such and such. 3,000 or some shit. Yeah, how is this boy up to this power level? And then he headbutt the fuck out of Raditz, bro. Like, and then you go all the way to the Cell Saga, and you finally see that power unleashed against Cell. Like, instead of Goku being the hero, it was passed down to his son. You see what I'm saying? Like that in itself, I think. Hold on. That in itself, I think was like that was pretty good. And then of course you go on to the Buu saga, and it goes back down to Goku, which was pretty understandable. But it's like I think someone else, like the flowers need to be handed down to someone else or handed over to someone else. Like give them their props. Like Vegeta, they hold, bro. Toriyama holds the fuck out of Vegeta. Every fucking time.
It's looking up right now though, because he got this new transformation, Ultra Ego. He's looking kind of nasty right now.
Hey, let me chime in.
So, Josiah, that shit with. So you read the granola art?
I have hope. The last chapter isn't. Correct me wrong. He was just training with Beerus, and they just had a sparring match, and he's like, "Finally, Vegeta, I have a worthier. I've been training." Am I spoiling?
Nah, you good.
We just gonna put spoiler alert.
Too late. Let me chime in. To me personally, I think Dragon Ball story writing been getting worse. Like this, like looking at starting from the Saiyan saga, all that storytelling was great. Like it's always something different. Like even like in Teen Gohan, like he was in high school, like, just showing like different point of views. Yeah. Like as like Super got past the tournament of power, like that shit was like, all right, any of y'all caught it? Y'all know who Moro is? Moro.
Yeah. Moro, yeah.
Yeah, when they got around to his arc and his fighting, I thought this shit was stupid. Like when this nigga activated like a key powered Susanoo, I was like, nigga, what?
No, that's tough.
No, bro, that's tough. I won't feel on that. I'm not gonna lie.
You know what else was stupid during the tournament of power? What was that? What was his name? Goku fought him before the tournament of power happened. No, the other dude.
Kaba?
He was like Jiren's right hand man.
Topo.
And he became a fucking god of destruction with shooting Hawkeyes. I'm like, what the fuck? How?
Hakai.
That shit didn't make any sense.
Spamming that shit the whole game.
That shit did not make any sense. Like if you want to do something like that, like have some build up to it.
Well, they did build up to it.
But it doesn't make sense. This nigga just became a god of destruction instantly.
No. All right. So when he was fighting Topo, they knew that Jiren was. They said that he was going to be more powerful than the god of destruction. But then they said that when they asked him, he said he didn't want to do it. And then they said earlier they was like, okay, well, we're just going to give it to Topo and see if he can actually achieve that level. So that was already foreshadowed, and then they showed it during.
He was already trained.
Yeah, like they already said that he could have already achieved that. Like it was foreshadowed. So and then he did it against Vegeta.
Yeah, Vegeta beat him. I mean, that's probably one feat where I say, all right, Vegeta, they kind of gave him
the thing is though, Vegeta beat him, but the same thing with Vegeta. Like I'm pretty sure that. I don't know, but if I were to think, I think Vegeta might end up becoming a god of destruction too.
No,
that's what I'm saying. So
he's
I think
100. He's 100% becoming.
That's what I'm saying. So I think it was like
got the little earpiece there.
Right.
He nailed.
That's what I think. That's what that part was foreshadowing. So it was like you're kind of putting two and two against each other.
I just think like the way they kind of like introduced that though, it was too subtle.
It was sloppy.
It was too subtle.
It was sloppy.
Yeah.
I need the writer to have Vegeta beat the ever shit out of Goku at least once. At least once.
Oh,
Just one time.
You said Vegeta beat the shit out of.
I need Vegeta to beat Goku's ass. He just deserves it. I feel like this nigga been getting bitched.
Bro, Goku was too nice.
30 years ago.
Goku was too nice. And what I mean by nice, I'm talking about like personality wise. Like when they fought, when Vegeta allowed Babidi to like kind of like possess him in a sense. He didn't really possess him, but he kind of gave him like a power boost. And then he came back. Then Vegeta's like, bitch, you held Super Saiyan 3 from me, making me believe that.
Hey, so we want to go ahead and do a quick cheers, and we reached a huge milestone in such a short amount of time. We went ahead and hit 1,100 followers on the Instagram,
Yes,
so we want to say thank you guys so much for supporting. We're about to hit 1,000 soon on TikTok. We gained. I'm about to hit 300 subs on YouTube. We just want to take a shot for you guys at the sake. Cheers, appreciate you guys.
Cheers to the Chakra Network.
Hey,
Sorry for drinking early. I got greedy.
we just want to say appreciate all the people that the anime that's been a part of their lives. We want to create a culture here for people like us, everybody, first of all. But it's just good to see how far anime has come to this point. Where I feel like anime was something where, at one point, maybe not our generation, but like the one before them, where you probably get teased and bullied for watching something like this, right?
Yeah,
and now we're here, where I don't know if I know one person that don't watch anime. If they say they don't, they lie.
That is
at this point. So it's cool here. This will be a place for people to congregate and listen to these viewpoints on anime. Just something to think of. So,
indubitably.
Just
Boom. Let's see. What's another topic we talk about? I think
let's do an anime moment that lives rent free in your head.
Rent free in my head. Okay.
Wait, John. Let's start this way.
Nah.
Okay.
I got one.
Okay, go ahead, Joseph.
I'm ready.
Sorry, I'm not in the rotation, y'all. So I'm looking at
Let's go.
Sasuke versus Gaara. When Sasuke was on the wall and he's charging up the lightning blade. And it seemed like the whole damn episode he charging up the fucking lightning blade.
Nah, no cap though. The birds chirping was tough as a bitch.
Yeah. Right. The fucking first of all, the best fit. His best fit.
But the black was tough. I don't know why they got rid of that.
You know why? It was perfect for that moment. It was perfect for that. It's iconic.
Right.
For that moment. And just him dragging. I remember the animation, him dragging the lightning blade across the ground. It's like ripping the ground up.
That jump was tough.
Where he just crashed through the shell. And the guard's like, my blood! One of the dopest. I think that's one of the moments that like got me into anime for real. I'm like, this shit is fucking dope as fuck.
What's you, AJ?
Want me to go?
I think one that I can think of is Sasuke and Itachi when Itachi had the like he was choking him up against the wall. Bro, choking him up against the wall. Brushed off the Chidori and was just casually, no sweat dripping at all.
No sweat dripping.
Foolish little brother, I almost pity you. Bro,
Apathetic as fuck, bro.
Bro, literally.
The nigga was like,
Head in the fucking
he
eyes.
literally was like, you don't have enough hate. Hate me more. Like, what?
Look, I got the speech. You foster your hatred and despise me. Surviving in such an unsightly manner as this, by all means flee. Cling to your wretched life.
And he spanked that little nigga. That was a big brother, little brother moment for real.
Why the fuck?
He said, yeah, all that training you did, yeah, that shit cute. But
Why the fuck do you remember that shit more?
Bro,
Tachi's his favorite character.
Tachi's my
Tachi
favorite.
my
Yeah,
favorite character
Tachi.
too, but like that shit is dark as fuck.
we know who the bigger fan is now.
Bro, I remember that quote since like fucking 3rd grade. I remember I used to say it in class and I was cool for it.
Word.
Yeah.
You was going through some shit in 3rd grade, nigga.
Yes.
Hey, yo, imagine this nigga sitting in the back of the class to start reciting it out of nowhere.
I'm gonna give Ricky for stealing my toys the other day, bro.
He just starts saying it. Somebody talk shit. He's in the corner. False here.
they were like, why is that kid talking to himself in the back of the class?
I ain't gonna lie. This nigga AJ used to say that when we would be playing anagrams, like the iMessage games, and I used to get so mad.
Bro, reciting shit talk from anime is like the best trash talk ever. Bro. People who fucking inspire like me in terms of shit talking, one is definitely Escanor. That's my guy. Escanor be talking some of the wildest shit and just be apathetic about it.
Just
That is
listen.
a twofer in terms of like worst beatdown. The way
Esterosa, right?
Yep.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Like, don't tell me
That nigga's
nobody can eat up my sunlight.
Who decided that?
But just know, if you gonna quote these anime characters, make sure you back this shit up. I done seen some videos of motherfuckers doing that shit. They ended up getting their ass whooped.
Getting their ass
Bro, getting their ass whooped.
Whooped.
Shit.
Oh
Like,
my
nigga,
god.
Talk about it in real life.
In real life, I seen this video, bruh. This motherfucker was saying something to this boy. I don't know if y'all seen it. It was in the hallway. And this nigga was big as shit. And he was whispering some shit. He was like, it wasn't me. She texted me. I was telling her to leave me alone. And then dude smacked the fuck out of him. And then this nigga just went Broly. He was like, "Roar!" And then the teacher came out of nowhere and broke. I'm like, what the fuck, bro?
Oh my god. Do y'all watch Bleach? Do all y'all watch Bleach?
I watched
Y'all
Bleach,
watch
but I ain't
Y'all
caught
watched
up.
the original one though.
Yes.
Oh, okay, nigga. Rent free. Aizen fucking stopped Ichigo's theme song in the middle of the battle. Ichigo's fucking everybody up. Now I feel like number one. Took the sword out. Aizen put a finger up, and the music stopped. The music stopped, bro.
You know shit finna get real, man, when a motherfucker stop the music. Bro.
No, I'm not. I think probably even more. This iconic anime moment involving Aizen is AJ knows this. So I knew Aizen was the villain before I even watched Bleach because you're gonna know who Aizen is watching or not. And so I'm starting from the beginning when Aizen was being Fugazi and acting like he was just some good guy or whatever. I knew he was the villain, and when he still betrayed everybody, I still felt betrayed. I was like, this nigga is a fucking snake. That nigga.
Josiah called me and he was like, bro, this is Aizen? This isn't Aizen. I was like, bro, that's Aizen. He was like, bro, this doesn't look like Aizen. And then as the story progressed, and when he forsake the whole Serite, then that's when he had like the whole slick back hair and everything. Josiah was like,
this nigga slicked his hair back, and I was like, oh my god, this nigga.
Threw the glasses.
He would have got my ass. I'll tell you that.
Threw the glasses away and looked totally different.
Totally different.
Like, damn.
All he had was the Clark Kent. Just some glasses and a hair change. It was just like,
bruh, he faked his whole death.
Which is crazy.
Faked his whole death and then fucked all of the captains up.
Hey man, he got me. I thought he actually died.
Bro, yes.
I'm
bro,
like,
that
one of
shit
y'all
wild.
motherfuckers in here are a snake. Y'all killed this man. He seemed cool as shit. Like, bro. Nah, but I got one though. It actually just came to mind.
What's up?
Bro, Broly. I'm talking about Dragon Ball Z Broly.
Dragon Ball Z, bro. Okay.
Dragon
Can
Ball Z
movie?
Broly. Yes.
Which one? What
Bro, the first one. The first one.
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah,
one when Vegeta was bitching. Oh my god. Bruh. So I don't know if y'all remember this scene, but it was okay, so they took over this planet portraying it to be like Planet Vegeta, but it wasn't. They had these other creatures or whatever, like these extraterrestrial beings from a whole nother planet, enslaved them and made them morph this planet to looking identical to Planet Vegeta. When he powered up to legendary Super Saiyan, do y'all remember that scene when he saw them and he was like, oh, the little slaves decide to be brave.
I do.
And the fucking planet was right up there and he shot
He
the
blew up their planet.
bruh
Yeah,
right
bro,
in
that
front
shit
of
was
him.
crazy.
He shot this key blast. It looked like a normal key
Get the little
blast.
green key blast.
Yeah, the
Yes.
green shit. He just threw it at the
Bruh,
fucking
he
thing.
threw it at them, and it look. I'm like, damn, he's about to kill them. He did something way worse, bruh. He blew it. That motherfucker went up.
Bro,
It
he
did like a
threw a
boomerang.
curveball. He
Threw
threw
a
a
curve,
curveball.
a massive curveball, and all you hear was doom. And this nigga said, "No, what he said? He said, oh,
laughed
I
or
bet
some
you
shit.
looking up at the sky, hoping to go back to your planet."
While
Shot the key
laughing.
blast. That bitch said boom. And this nigga said, oops, did I just blow it up? And got the laughing. I'm like, that nigga is terrible.
Black Air Force energy. All day.
Shit. Black Timberland energy with that shit. Bro, that shit was crazy. That shit was crazy. I was laughing like a motherfucker, but that shit was evil.
Nah, that shit OD. Y'all
That's
got
crazy.
any
I
other
do
rent free
remember that.
shit?
I mean,
I got one right here.
the most iconic moment of all time that was definitely Goku first transformation to
Super Saiyan?
Super Saiyan.
Yeah,
First.
for
That's
sure. For
definitely
sure.
the most iconic
sure.
moment.
And Dragon Ball Z, for sure.
I think of all anime, to be honest. Like that
You
power
can
up
argue
when
that.
he first went when the lightning came down.
You can argue that.
Was, I think
You
that's
can
the most
argue that.
iconic.
Yeah, everybody
At his
gonna know that
time-
shit.
I think at his time, yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's like who hasn't seen that?
Again, it would be at his time because for all the people that grew up during that, then yeah, that would be probably the
For that
most
generation.
iconic thing. Because for me, I did, even though I have the entire original Dragon Ball series and GT on VHS, I ain't never watched it. I didn't get into anime until something else. So for that would have no bearing over me or like other people who got
All
into
right.
it later.
Check me out. Is Michael Jordan iconic?
Yeah, but for a different reason.
How?
It's different.
It's a similar reason. Like
No,
you never
it's
seen
not.
Michael Jordan play, but because of who his name is, and because you've seen the dunk, right? Like I feel like everybody has at least heard Goku screaming and power run up from memes throughout everything. Like it's in everything. That's why I say it's the most iconic
It is.
moment.
It's literally
It is a lot,
iconic.
but the only reason why I disagree is because there's like I don't want to say a gap, but you're talking in terms of generation, Michael Jordan, and nowadays people would say LeBron. Back then, you'd say Dragon Ball Z. Other people would say the Big Three, or like one of the variants of the Big Three, or they would say like even nowadays they say JJK, My Hero, or
Chainsaw
something
Man.
else.
But
It's
I wouldn't-
always different.
I wouldn't say LeBron is iconic though. Like yeah, he will be.
Nigga, what?
No, he's
Not, no, but I'm saying, all right. Here's what I'm saying. Look, so with no, look, check me out. Let me start.
It's time to move on.
Bro, look, check me out. Listen, with Michael Jordan, when you have the dunk, right, like him sticking his tongue out in the air, that's that's Michael Jordan. I don't think LeBron has that yet. Like, and on top of like the shoes and everything, I think when he like later on, he will become iconic.
The block?
Who let him cook?
That dunk over
block?
Jason Terry?
Yo, who let
The
this man
lob
cook?
from D Wade?
The block?
That is iconic.
The block in the finals?
Nigga, this nigga, he don't
Yeah.
even got to do shit on the floor. This man is iconic. Just
no,
I get-
no,
25 points in
hold on, hold on, hold on.
2K14.
I get what he's saying in terms of he doesn't have that one thing that you could stick to him and permanently be like, because that like even with Michael Jordan, that dunk is on his shoes, that dunk is on his shirts, that dunk is on everything. But in terms of with the basketball thing for LeBron James, That's just a picture. That's not placed to everything that is his brand.
That's
but
kinda
in
what I'm
terms
saying.
of anime for Dragon Ball Z, that lasts thanks to the internet. But besides the internet, it's not really going much further than the people who watch it and the people who grew up on it.
All right, so put it like this. I didn't grow up on Dragon Ball Z. Like when that came out, I don't think I was actually born yet. Like when did that?
None of us were really born when Dragon Ball Z originally.
That's what I'm saying. So it's
Dragon Ball
not.
came out in 1980.
Came out.
It's
way
not
earlier
really
than
my. It's not really my generation neither. My generation is Naruto. Like I grew up with Naruto.
Right.
But the thing is, when it comes to that, it's just like when I'm seeing it, the fact that it's still being used, the fact that everybody still sees it, hears it, like.
Again,
I think that's the most iconic.
That's why I can't take away from it from being considered like the OG anime in terms of shonen across the board. But what I can say is that it's probably not like everything that everybody would universally say is the most iconic thing.
I agree with both of y'all. Honestly, y'all both have a point. Cause like from your perspective, if I were to go to like my like little cousins that watch anime right now, the first thing they talk about is probably not going to be Dragon Ball Z. It's probably going to be something else that's more contemporary. Like, honestly, and you can put it this way. This you can use this as a juxtaposition. So every time I try to put somebody on with Yu Yu Hakusho nowadays, they don't really want to watch it, even though Yu Yu Hakusho came out around the same time Dragon Ball Z came out. They don't like it because of the animation style. It's not as modern as the anime right now. And it's the same for movies. A lot of people, like back when I was young, my dad used to show me the whole kung fu movies, for example.
Bruce Lee?
Yeah, like Bruce Lee, Godzilla, all that kind of stuff.
Like that?
No, I liked it. But if you show it to kids nowadays, they want to see some more, high definition, high resolution shit. And that's just the facts of it. Like as technology is progressing, people are starting to gravitate more towards stuff that's a little bit more modern.
I mean, I agree, but the fact that Dragon Ball Z has been going on this long, and the fact that like people like this generation still growing up on Super, right?
Right.
I see no reason why they wouldn't have the sense to like, okay, I'm gonna go back and look at this.
But a lot of them aren't. So like,
you don't think they are?
No, I'm saying for like a lot of kids, like let's say like 12, 13 year olds, they're looking at Super Saiyan Blue. Like Super Saiyan Blue is normal to them. It's like, oh, what the man, the weak ass Super Saiyan 1. They don't care about Super Saiyan 1, Super Saiyan 2 because it's more normalized now. Is Super Saiyan Blue. The Super Saiyan God, like that's some more normalized now. I was talking about it with one of my 12-year-old cousins. He was just like, yeah, Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan is weak. Like he straight like, yeah, Super Saiyan is weak. I was just like, back in the day, we were like, yo, Super Saiyan is that transformation.
Yeah, they're not gonna understand. They're not gonna understand.
And they're not gonna go back to look for it.
Yeah, they're not.
And that's why I say it's iconic, but it's only gonna be there for the people that are with the originals.
It's the same thing with Hunter x Hunter. Like, are you gonna look at the 2011 version of Hunter x Hunter, or are you gonna go back and look at the 90s? You're mostly gonna look at the 2011 version. If
that's the
anything.
one's more modern. I mean, if you care about the classics, people do go back. Like me personally, I do it, but it's like majority's not doing it. This is what it is.
Yeah.
So Josiah, you heard the whole, you heard the take between Caleb and John, right? With Dragon Ball Z, and John believes that Dragon Ball Z doesn't necessarily translate as well as it did in the past. Like, for example, not many people will gravitate towards the iconic moment of Goku being a Super Saiyan as they would have
Super Saiyan 1.
Well, Super Saiyan 1 as they would have maybe like a decade or 2 decades ago. And Caleb saying he disagrees because he wants to compare it to the Michael Jordan and then like, the tongue sticking out and that whole kind of thing. That's kind of his analogy. What was your take on that?
Well, what I think the basketball is a good analogy for that. I don't know if translate is the word. Will it be as like jaw dropping or exciting? No, but Dragon Ball is the reason why it wouldn't be as iconic, because so much anime is influenced by Dragon Ball Z. Mm-hmm. So if Dragon Ball Z like didn't exist, right, but we're still keeping the anime that was like influenced by Dragon Ball Z, then no. Because like you said, Caleb said about basketball, right? Mm. If we saw Wilt Chamberlain doing fucking hook shots and shit in today's NBA, we'd be like, okay, this nigga is like cool, like I guess. But that's only because anime has progressed so far, like in terms of voice acting and animation style, that there is so many big jaw dropping moments. So no, it wouldn't hit the same. I think it would still be cool. It wouldn't hit the same, but that's because it's just progressed so far. But we have to also we have to also keep in mind that the only part of the reason anime has even got to this point is because of Dragon Ball.
But would you agree that the Goku's first transformation in the Freezer arc is either in the top 3 or is the most iconic moment in anime? When he first transformed, when he first transformed to Super Saiyan against Frieza.
I think that's subjective, but yeah,
the most anime period.
Yes, and I mean, if you can't name something that you think is more iconic than that moment,
iconic moment.
I can say something that's more iconic than that. The fucking Spirit Bomb.
Spirit Bomb
against Frieza. I feel like it's damn near okay for anime watchers. If you don't watch anime, right? If you don't watch anime, then like I told y'all, like before I came in, like part of the podcast, I said.
But do you think the Spirit Bomb is more iconic than the first time ever going Super Saiyan? The Spirit Bomb, then the first time ever going Super Saiyan. Like you remember that whole transformation?
That may be a personal thing with me, but that's because I would say the first transformation is more iconic simply because I knew what a Super Saiyan transformation was before I even started watching anime. Yeah. Because of how iconic the transformation is. So maybe I will agree that probably is one of or top 3 like most cultural defining moments in anime. Simply because, like I said, even if you don't know what anime is, you know what going Super Saiyan is. He's using his force. Oh, he's going Super Saiyan. You know,
like the scream, the first time him screaming, everybody emulating that junk. And his first time doing it.
What are we comparing it to, though?
We weren't really. That was the thing. I couldn't think of anything to compare it to, but the topic was what is the most iconic moment in anime? And I'm saying, like,
okay, I think Dragon Ball Z. It would be that because I think Dragon Ball Z is the most iconic anime ever. Period.
What would you say?
I could agree that Dragon Ball Z is probably the most iconic anime ever because of its roots to everything else. But in terms of any specific moment, I think that's either subjective or that is tailored to the times. In which anything such as like his first transformation into Super Saiyan 1, I think that's for the people who grew up on it and the people who went back and really appreciated the anime and that sphere of anime versus people who are kind of just like moving past it. Because me personally, I'm not necessarily into it because I didn't get on to anime because of Dragon Ball. And then I've never really been much of a follower of Dragon Ball. So for me, it's like, I can't say that's iconic.
I somewhat agree too.
Okay. Here's what I'll say about that. I agree with him where I'm like, I'm not the biggest Dragon Ball fan as well. Like, I like it because who doesn't like some parts of Dragon Ball? But the reason why I would agree with Caleb, this is all subjective anyway, first and foremost. But opinion-wise, you can ask somebody, hey, do you know what anime is? And some people will say yes, and some people will say no. You ask them, do you know like what a Super Saiyan is, or do you know what Goku is, or do you know what the Kamehameha is? Like, and yes, I know that's Dragon Ball as a whole, but they would know that before even knowing that's Dragon Ball. Like, it transcends anime. Period. And whether you like it or not, and we're talking about the most iconic, not what's the best or what do you like. In terms of widespread influence.
Only because, sorry to cut you off just side, but I would agree with that only because it's just like the LeBron analogy. If somebody doesn't know shit about basketball, you can just be like, oh, do you know who LeBron James? Oh, LeBron James? Yeah, I know LeBron. Like, that's literally what they would be like.
And again, in terms
of
Jordan.
Jordan.
Yeah.
In terms of that, I can agree. Because I think I said already, I agree with the idea of Dragon Ball having such roots into anime that people will acknowledge it for being an iconic series, even if they don't know the series. In terms of specifics, that's where it becomes subjective because people may know either Goku. Some people may not know Goku, but they could understand what Kamehameha is rather than the Kamehameha.
Or if you just say Dragon Ball Z. Yeah. If you just say the title itself, they'll know what that is. Yeah.
That's why I said some people will know it or aspects of it.
Right.
But in terms of saying Super Saiyan 1 is the most iconic, I can't agree with that because not everybody would know Super Saiyan 1.
And that's facts too.
Even as Garland said, he said his cousin would know more about Super Saiyan Blue.
That's true.
So the reason why I say that's facts and it's subjective is Dragon Ball as a series as a whole is iconic, but like the different moments, like talking about Super Saiyan 1, that's subjective because like that's just depending around that timeline. You know, to you personally, you might think it's the most iconic, but like look at when this nigga transferred to Super Saiyan God, or when Teen Gohan turned Super Saiyan 2, or
Saiyan 3,
or like to nowadays to most kids,
Ultra
Instinct is that
That's
Super Saiyan 1
shit.
transformation for them. So it's just like
Okay, going Super Saiyan in general.
Saya, let me get something. When we talk about iconic, right? The definition is like kind of how similar to how John would describe it, or how kind of how AJ kind of described it, right? Like even though you're like, put it like this, the older, I could say it in reverse, the older generation that went over for Dragon Ball Z don't really watch. Like my dad, he watched Dragon Ball Z when like he was growing up and seeing it and everything. He's not that much into it now because some people kind of just wean off of it with life and everything. Like I kind of update him, but if it wasn't for me, he wouldn't have any idea like kind of what the stuff is. So people like the same way that there's older people that still know it, there's younger people that kind of get into it, and there's older people that wean off of it. But if you had to tell me, I know for a fact there's more people who know what Super Saiyan 1 is than what Super Saiyan Blue is in the world right now. I think like I said, my dad had to put him into it. My mom knows what Super Saiyan 1 is because she watched Dragon Ball Z with my dad. But if I told her what Ultra Instinct, she's not going to know what that is. I know for a fact more people know what Super Saiyan 1 is than what Super Saiyan Blue is.
I don't believe
but see,
that.
like,
But even put it like this, even the younger generation, even if the fact that they grew up on Super Saiyan Blue and Ultra Instinct, they would still know what Super Saiyan 1 is.
Nah.
What?
I mean, they would know what Super
And
Saiyan
you don't
1
think-
It's subjective only because that's just like saying everybody knows the old Nickelodeon shows as opposed to the new contemporary Nickelodeon shows like That's a Raven as opposed to whatever the fuck is going on right now. It's literally based on who the fuck watches TV right now and what the hell they're paying attention to.
Yeah, come out to say
it's going to be an ongoing paradox just comparing.
I don't agree with that because these kids never seen Jordan play a day in their life and they know who Michael Jordan is. So like, I don't think that's.
I think everybody.
One thing that I would say though, because I was talking to my older cousins, because they caught me reading manga books, and it was like, oh, you talking about like hold on. What?
That's cool.
That's fine.
Hold on. Yeah, so they caught me reading manga books, and well, first they asked me like what was I reading? I said a manga book, and they was like, what's that? I was like, oh, it's kind of like a comic book in a sense, but it's like it refers to like, you know, Japanese art in a sense. And they was like, oh, so you talking about like that Goku shit or Dragon Ball Z shit? I'm like, yeah. And he was like, man, they were telling me about Fist of the North Star, and they were saying like, well, Fist of the North Star, you know, that was the true anime.
Kenshiro.
Yeah, they were like, that was the true anime. So it's like, as far as like the generation thing, like, you know, it's people that say, well, you know, there was a Michael Jordan before there was Michael Jordan, referring to Julius Erving, you know, so it's more so of a generational thing, I would think. Because when they were telling me about Fist of the North Star, I heard about that, but I wasn't really that thorough on as far as like what characters that they talking about. But then once I saw it and they showed it to me, I'm like, oh, I remember seeing this guy. He was part of some memes and stuff that I seen and all that shit. And then I was watching, I'm like, man, Fist of the North Star, that shit was pretty dope.
Yeah, so long story short, just to wrap this specific topic up, it's literally based on who's passing down the information. Like, is it somebody that is experienced that's passing down the information of Dragon Ball Z? Is it somebody that experienced that's passing down information from Michael Jordan or whatever to their children, because that's something that they're thinking about specifically. I want to pass along what I saw so that my kid can live that exact same moment that I lived in. Just like how your dad likes comics, he passed it on to you and Josiah. And it's the same kind of thing with anime. It's the same kind of thing with basketball.
Even with shoes, like a lot of the Air Jordans that you see nowadays, like they were already out. They were already out. They're just being resold.
Exactly.
Even with Penny Hardaway's, his shoes.
And we don't know, like, our generation doesn't know how iconic those shoes are. Our parents do.
We don't.
Our parents do. And those who are older or were in that specific generation. That's the main point. It's going to be a paradox if we try to argue.
Y'all want to run free? Huh? Oh, agree to disagree.
Agree to disagree.
I was gonna say I'm cool with that.
It's a paradox. We got to
agree to disagree.
I was gonna say a run free moment in my head is Levi versus the Beast Titan.
I was about to talk about Attack on Titan.
I think any one of their matchups would be good, but the first one where Levi completely, especially when
that was a beatdown too.
Especially when Studio Wit outdid themselves with that animation, that 30-second clip of just straight beautiful kill. He just murdered him brutally. I know the manga did it worse with how they killed him, but I just thought that was like a very good moment. And that's specifically of my like seinen shonen. I have a different moment that's for like the sports world itself.
Irwin's speech.
I got another free moment. Like I was about to bring up Attack on Titan. Have y'all seen the latest season on part 1?
I haven't seen that one.
Well, I'm gonna kind of talk about it. You know, it's a little late. But any of y'all familiar with it at all? Caleb, John?
I think so. It depends on which part you're talking about.
Basically, when Aaron was infiltrating Marley.
Oh yeah.
So we infiltrated Marley and like they just opened it. He transformed. And he just consumed the Warhammer Titan. Like
That
he just
was
beat
messed
the
up.
ass and he just ate the Warhammer Titan like that and like used the Jaw Titan as a nutcracker. Used it as a nutcracker and just cracked the crystal. Just consumed the War Titan.
That junk was crazy. That was. I'm gonna be honest. Like we was talking about this earlier. Like we were what were we talking about? We were talking about Aaron and Darth Vader. Was that what we was talking about, AJ? Remember we were talking about Aaron and Darth Vader that one time?
I think it was.
Yeah, like we were talking about. I feel like that moment kind of like, yes, they was like Aaron did everything for the greater good because that's just like what he did to basically protect like everybody. But I feel like the way he still went about that was wrong. Like it was so many. It was like those innocent. Well, I guess he doesn't see them as innocent, and it kind of happened to him. But remember those people that were on that was like sitting on like it was like a stadium, or I guess it was like bleachers, and then he just killed all of them. To me, I was just like, I don't know if I don't know if I could consider him like that was the greater good at that point.
I mean, but it's like he basically once he kissed her hand, he basically saw how everything's gonna play out. So he was like, well, shit, it's gonna happen anyway. So I mean, might as well. That's like kind of how it went. Cause he literally saw into the future. He was like, well, shit, this is already gonna happen. I'm gonna be the one to do it.
But was it all right? So was it? So there's a difference. Did he see into the future what would happen, or did he see like every possibility?
No,
He basically saw into the future, like how he knew things was gonna play out, and he was just like, it has to go this way. Like if I don't want to spoil the ending. But
you gotta remember, without spoiling the ending, you gotta remember that his Titan specifically has the abilities to let him see into the past as well as send memories into the past.
Yes,
which also comes into play with him having the founding Titan, which allows.
Actually, his power allows him to see into the future. It's the fact that he has the founding Titan that allows him to manipulate the stuff in the past.
But
no. His
Attack Titan.
Yeah, his Attack Titan allows him to look into the past as well as the future, and he can send his memories into the past, which is why his dad
from the
and
future.
people in the past
there you go. Yeah,
only were able to look at that stuff.
But what I'm getting to the point is, do you think that? All right, yes, he can see into the future, but I guess so the point in Attack on Titan, were they saying that future was 100% valid, that there was no other possible way they could go, or was it part of Aaron's personality involved in that too?
The thing about that is kind of think about it as if you've seen Doctor Strange in that
Multiverse of Madness.
No, in the Infinity War movie where he played through all those timelines.
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of like that where he went through, because people have a theory that he's gone through so many memories or attempts that to him he came up with the best solution possible for him, which is being the enemy and then having to fight everybody else.
Exactly. But that's where I was getting at, because like keyword, you said like for him, right? Like basically what he could handle. But there's a difference between that. Like there was a little bit of difference between what Doctor Strange did, because he said he saw every single possibility like ever that there possibly could be. And even that ended up being a little bit of iffy because, you know, with the Kang stuff going on, we didn't see every like time. You get what I'm saying? So that was a little bit iffy. But what I'm saying with Aaron, I think is a key word. What you said was that was best for him. I think he probably went through it so many times.
The words I chose to use, but go on.
But I think he went through it so many times that it kind of broke him. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think it kind of broke him to the point where it changed his personality, almost like it was like a suffering type of thing.
I don't believe that. I think
you don't think so?
What broke him was his growing up and what he had to deal with as he was growing up as a kid in that environment. Because you got to remember him growing up, losing some of the memory that he's the one who ate his dad, that he's the one who also had the attack titan in him. And he didn't find out until he was like, 14 years old and like serving in the corps, or 16 or something like that. Is like that entire environment is what fucked him up. And then you go into the fact that once he gets over, once they get past the walls and they actually explore the outside world, then where Garland, his moment comes in, where he's in Marley and he's experiencing that and how they treat the Marleyans. That's what helps generate his ideas. And then you also couple that with the fact that he has the memories sent from the past, the memories in the future, and he starts to see other possibilities of how things would play out as well as how things are. And he comes to the conclusion, hey, this isn't going to work unless either we reset the world and let Paradise be the people that do it, that reset it completely, or the world has to wipe us out and we're not going out like bitches.
So you think were the only two options?
Again, there might have been a plethora of other options. It's just that's probably, from what I know, that's the options that he came to the conclusion of, even though he probably could have planned out a bunch of other ones and they just didn't pan out.
So he pulled an Itachi.
No, it's not even that. It's kind of really hard to answer your question, kind of like without spoiling the series itself. Because I can answer it, but it will require me to spoil the series. Because like that was basically the outcome. I'm
Hit
not
the
going to
spoiler button.
And the time off, like what you were talking about, what broke him, like really, like he was already like messed up in the head already. But like once he like kissed Astoria's hand and kind of like saw into the future, he's like, oh shit, like it really has to go this way. And he was just like, fuck, okay, so that's what's going on over there. Like fuck, Marley's like this. So like if you remember when they got outside to the walls and they saw the ocean, the rest of them like, wow, this is what water look like. This nigga's on his knees like, they're over there. That's where it's at. Like we need to get like the end of looking at like, yo, you good, bro? What the fuck you talking about? They over there. And then essentially like going into the thing, you know about the rumbling?
Yeah.
So essentially going on the rumbling, he was just like, well, either this way or y'all got to take me out. So like when he was into like the coordinate, when he had Armin in there, he basically was telling Armin everything. He's like, yeah, it has to go this way. Y'all have to be the ones to kill me. Y'all have to defeat me. I know it's going to be like this way. And he basically starts expressing his true feelings. He's like, I don't want it to be this way, but it has to be this way. He expresses his love for Mikasa. He's like, no, I don't want to die. I want her for the rest of my life, blah, blah, blah. But throughout the series, he's like, man, fuck you. You're just a slave. He's like, no, I know it's love. I love you at the end. I don't want to die. And then, you know, he's like, I'm going to reset your memory and you're just going to fight me without not knowing we had this conversation.
Well, I mean, I know that, but all right. But the argument was, Are you 100% positive that he saw every single possibility and that was the only way? Or was it similar to what John said, whereas that he went through at so many possibilities and he got some trauma from that and also built up trauma, that's the rational conclusion that he came to? Or was it truly, because there's a difference. One of them where you're saying that's the only way possible, you don't have any choice, I would be like more considerate. I'm like, okay. But if it's the other one where it's trauma built up and for him he felt like that's what he had to do, then that's a completely different story, and that kind of changes the outlook of the character at that point.
So it was a little like the outcome was a little bit pre-selected, but at the same time it was a little like he kind of pre-selected that rationale, but at the same time when you think about it, nobody else is going to possibly do anything what Aaron does. If Aaron's like a mistake in getting the Titan he
Oh,
got
yeah,
to begin
he
with.
was a mistake.
I'm about to say because he was the only person to be able to utilize the power. Like, it literally was a whole accident how you use it. 'Cause only people that can use it is people that had royal blood. And the only people who can use the Fountain Titan was the royal blood family. And they was vowed by the vow. What was the name of the vow again? You remember the vow?
King Fritz.
Yeah, the King Fritz put a vow saying any person has to automatically obey King Fritz's vow, and they automatically do it once they activated Fountain Titan's power. But since Eren wasn't a part of that royal blood, that's when it kind of more so like, all right, it broke into like his own rationale decision. But like literally, if Eren didn't do that, it would be the same thing over and over. They have control of the Fountain Titan, boom this, dump Titans here. It'd been like a constant cycle.
Really? Hypothetical situation. If you take a character, let's take who's a abnormally really good person that's a character. Like is Luffy? Let's take Luffy.
Like good person?
Yeah, just like let's
amicable?
Let's take Luffy. If you take Luffy's personality and you put him in Attack on Titan and you have him grow through what Eren did, do you think that it turns out to be the same conclusion, or do you think somebody like Luffy or Naruto changes?
It wouldn't be the same conclusion.
Because Luffy technically has gone through the same and or worse as Eren has, and he's just a joy boy. Period.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But that's different because what you're talking about is kind of like when the Joker tried to Jokerize what's his name? The police detective.
Gordon? Officer Gordon?
When he tried to do that, and if I'm correct, it was like not the Killing Joke, but he tried to give him that one bad day that would Jokerize him. That's not the same because for Commissioner Gordon, it didn't work. But for Joker, it turned into
Batman, the killing joke.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, it's not. You can't use the same thing with Luffy because Luffy is like one of those people that's supposed to emotionally overcome whatever despair he's going through.
Not only that, if we're keeping it a stack, you said Luffy went through the same. If not, okay. All right. One, it's complete different. The whole world of Attack on Titan is depressing. Every single character. There's like no joy in that, like, at all. You have to understand, like, this kid grew up. So he as a child, just constant trauma. First of all, just being poor. Because for the most part, correct me if I'm wrong, they hadn't had people breach the wall in forever in the beginning of the anime, right? When he was a child.
No, it's been forever. Like nobody's breached the wall. They just thought it was this.
Yeah, nobody's breached the wall. And then about the time he was like what, 14?
Like,
when did he join?
He's probably I think he's like 8, 9, 10 around there. That early, like real
8, 9, 10. So you have these giant. This is a world where nobody has superpowers and there's no joy and X, Y, and Z. So you're like 9. And you see, like, you're somewhat happy home, and a giant human comes and eats your mother. And it just progressively gets worse from there. Like, his life, Eren didn't catch a break
at all
throughout the whole anime.
So
imagine you chilling and you're a 9-year-old and you just see a fucking Iron Titan just tackle through the wall. And you're like, what the fuck's going on?
So Josiah, you think the Attack on Titan universe could break somebody's will like Naruto?
Yes.
Yes, and not only that, you're talking about people like, for instance, Naruto growing up, a military ass child growing up throughout, like, to be a ninja, to be a killer. Eren was a regular ass little guy, like he was just a regular.
I know he's a regular.
Boy.
I know he was a regular boy, but that's a good argument because that's basically what I was trying to get to.
Well, no character, because even with Naruto, he grew up in the most successful. Naruto grew up in America, like the biggest and baddest country, the pride for the Leaf Village, joy. Like even with him being an outcast, he still had people trying to look after him. And X, Y, and Z. And
not only that,
they were not at war. They weren't at war.
Not only that, Eren witnessed his mom get eaten.
Well,
yeah. Naruto didn't even know his parents.
If I'm gonna clear things up, then
I think that would change anybody at a young age. You see your parents get killed in front of you, like you witnessed that shit.
But it's not only that though. It just got worse and worse. It's not like things got better, like, ever.
It never stopped.
Well, the counter to that is, in terms of Naruto, for him, he did have a select few people supporting him. In terms of Attack on Titan. After his mom got eaten, it was straight, okay, well, the next wall just got fucked up, so who's ready to go to war? And then he has to live as a child on the streets until he's of age to go. And then back to the thing with like Luffy, again, I want to clear this up real quick. It's a difference in universes and the way that they're set up, as well as the people. You got one person who's written where he's supposed to be in constant either fear of his life or fighting for his life, versus somebody who's choosing an adventure to succeed. And then you go back to Aaron's lifestyle. His choice was based on it being like I don't want to say Code Geass because I haven't really watched it like that. His lifestyle is chosen in a sense of, I have to do this because it's kind of one of the only main options I can do. And I choose to do this because it is the only way to help everybody as an overall. That's why I wanted to say it's like a mix of what I said and a mix of what Garland said, because his lifestyle is we're not going to succeed unless somebody is the villain. Which is where that question came up, where some people asked, would you rather be the villain to save the world or be the villain to save your people? And Aaron is choosing to be the villain to have people, to save his people, because they're villainizing him instead of villainizing his island.
Do you think there's any anime protagonist that could like keep a good I don't know how to say a good attitude? That's the best way I could describe it. If they were placed in the Attack on Titan universe.
I think that question can't even be answered because you would have to put that character in the same subset.
You have to think of depressing anime.
And so you're seeing the personalities.
Situations. And then
look at depressing anime.
You're putting,
And it's just
like you're
you go, my fault, bro.
Yeah. And like Attack on Titan is one of the more, it's not like the classic shonen tropes where there's like a glimpse of like hope or something to like fight for, really.
Like Berserk.
It's like it's like the difference between I'm gonna go on a tangent right now. Like DC is like, y'all know DC and Marvel, right?
Of course.
So DC is a world of superheroes built for superheroes. Like there's hopes and Batman never kill and blah 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 and all this other shit, right? Marvel is like if heroes survived in the real world, right? Like all that bullshit where they don't kill people and all that shit, Marvel is not like that at all. And so the only reason I say that is because Naruto is an anime shonen built world. Dragon Ball, same thing. Like all these characters, the main characters are bringing up, it has the atmosphere of this is an anime like universe. Attack on Titan, yes, it's completely made up and it is an anime. That was like, it's like real life. Like if this shit was like real, how would this go? And it would go like that. Nothing would be happy-go-lucky. And so like you can't, from at least from the animes that I know, unless it's like just some joke anime or whatever that's not meant to be taken seriously, there's no real character that you can really even compare to Eren. He was put in like real war situations where at his age, like we're saying like, oh, is that like the only thing he could do? It's not like he was like some super genius. He looked at, his past, present, and future, and he came up with a semi-quick decision, and I don't even think he was really wrong. It was like, hey, do I draw this out and like just hope things get better? Or I can just end this shit right now.
And save as many people as I can.
And to chime off on that, basically answer your question, Caleb. The reason why I say Aaron was kind of like, that was the only outcome, even though it was his own rational decision. Yeah, I think about it like this, and in terms of the whole universe itself, like in the Attack on Titan verse. You know how they got like it's a 99% chance things will go right? It's that one random 0.1%. Aaron's literally that 0.1%. He randomly got acquired of a Titan he had no business getting. His half brother is a royal blood family because there's so many conditions to him to activate the power itself. He went through the cancel the vow, renounced and vow, And had anybody else had that founding Titan, like that random, remember the Titan is about to eat him in the beginning? If that nigga would have ate him, they wouldn't have activated the power at all. It's like, who got the founding Titan? I don't know. Shit, don't have no idea. And then that random dude get ate, like, oh shit, we got it back. Like he was just that random, like that 0.01% that went completely wrong and is the worst possible outcome. Right. But it was the only outcome that was to make a change. Because had anybody else had the founding Titan and they want royal blood, they would have never knew. They would have never activated the power. If it's a person in royal blood, if they would have activated the power, they would have been forced to just do what they was automatically do, like rebuild walls, boom, boom, reset everybody's mind, boom, reset.
And then on top of that, you also got to include that he was technically an anomaly in terms of having it, period, because he altered their entire universe in the way of things that would have continued just by existing and then gaining the Titan powers himself. If he never existed, which he really shouldn't have, then none of this would have happened.
That's the answer. That's it.
It's kind of crazy because like if you put it in reverse that way, you kind of are saying like Aaron's like will or personality. That was like the best possible way that he could do it. Like that means that his will is probably stronger than like a lot of the other characters are probably stronger than Naruto's or Luffy's, to be honest.
It is.
Because I can't argue with it.
Aaron, I did what he
did.
Do
you want to be morally just, or do you want to do the right thing? You know,
and the right thing might have to come with killing people or getting killed yourself.
Right, and I, honestly, in reality, he 100% did the right. It sounds so sick, but it's like, do you just like suffer forever? Or I'ma just end this shit right now. Yeah, people gonna look at me crazy, but who the fuck cares?
Fuck you.
Like honestly.
Fuck you. Nah, for real.
He's the only one that made a change. Shit.
Nah, he is.
That was the only one.
That's crazy.
Doing that shit, man.
So let's get to the last topic. The last topic of today is who is the most loyal character in anime?
Okay, off top, I can just hop in this, man.
Bro, it's a
Zoro.
trio.
Not a Tachi, I'll tell you
Zoro.
that.
It's a trio. I got.
You can hop right into this whole Zoro.
Go ahead, go.
Bro, come on, everybody knows. Are you familiar with One Piece?
He showed me a clip.
Okay, bro. Zoro has one of the most loyal anime characters to Luffy. Think about it like this. Since the beginning, since he had met him, this man would do anything for this man if he asked. And he never questions him for a second. He hopped straight into it. He literally just hopped straight to anything, bro. Like he already know what's up. Like every single arc, ever since from beginning up until now, he just trusts Luffy blindsided.
I'm not familiar with One Piece, but I remember that clip you showed me. I remember that clip that you just showed me.
I was literally gonna say that, Josiah.
I remember that clip that you just showed me, bro, with Zoro. It was some with some bubble or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. It was Kuma's devil fruit. He basically took Luffy's pain because Luffy was this after Ace died?
No, this is before.
This was before. Yeah, this is still the bark when he extracted Luffy's pain. He said, okay, like you have to be able to like get accustomed to Luffy's pain in order for me to let Luffy survive or some shit. Yeah, something like that. And he put his hands in the bubble. Well, actually, he gave him a sample size of the bubble first. It was fucking his insides up. A good analogy is when Yusuke first put the spirit wave in his body when he was training. It's the exact same thing.
It was like that.
It was literally the exact same thing.
That nigga Zoro was in like a puddle, like a giant ass puddle of blood. Yusuke didn't look that severe.
It wasn't that severe. Yeah. It wasn't that severe, but it was the exact same scenario. Genkai gave him a sample size. Yusuke was getting fucked up. Yusuke said, "Give me that shit back." Put it inside of him, and then got fucked up for the rest of the night. Genkai couldn't help him, but Zoro did the exact same thing. Had his arms crossed. Sanji came up, puddle of blood. What the fuck happened here? Nothing happened.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. Like Zoro is pretty loyal, but in all honesty, the most loyal anime characters is like every harem protagonist. I'm talking Overlord. I'm talking Kenshi Muyu. I'm talking Rimuru.
Wow.
Wow. What the fuck?
I'm right though.
Even in all seriousness though, bro. In all seriousness, Naruto is annoyingly
loyal.
Pest cockroach style loyalty. This nigga did not leave this nigga Sasuke alone for
I'm gonna bring
thousands of episodes.
Bro,
This
he
nigga,
was
do
swallowing
y'all not
more than
understand
Sakura.
that Sasuke is on the no flight list? He without Naruto, this nigga Sasuke is dead. One, he's either dead on the no flight list, completely banned from the Leaf Village. This nigga Naruto is so loyal that
That's right.
somehow Sasuke is damn near the Shadow Hokage right now.
That is facts.
He followed this nigga in the most annoying way and really pulled him out of the mud.
That's
And
facts.
it was so annoying. Watching it like as a child, I'm like, this nigga Naruto would just not leave this nigga alone. But in reality, if you talking about some loyalty, this nigga Sasuke tried to take Naruto out how many times? Take his friends out, all this other shit, and he's still right by his hip.
And just to piggyback
Still right
off
by
of
his
you,
hip.
Josiah, just to piggyback off of that, like half of the show was literally Naruto on a mission to get back his friend after all of the bullshit that he had to put up with to get him back. Like, bro, Naruto took
when everybody counted him out.
Literally,
everybody counted him out.
I would have been one of them
Right.
people. I would have been like, man, fuck that nigga. I'm not about to waste my time
Bro, but
trying
like,
to.
Naruto just built different, bro. He literally took an ass whooping from a cloud ninja for like damn near half an episode, getting fucked up, did not give a single word out. You know what I'm saying? Like, didn't tell her a single thing. She over here huffing and puffing, you bastard. You won't tell me where he's at. You know what I mean?
I'm mad at Naruto for that shit. But man, I would have been said fuck that nigga.
For instance, Zoro is loyal as fuck, but Zoro is loyal with the condition that, hey, Luffy, you better stay stronger than me. You better be the leader. You better take us through this journey. Like, he's loyal because, one, he's loyal because they're friends, but also with the condition that you are the strongest. You are alpha. You know, Naruto was stronger than Sasuke for most of the series. Like, Naruto didn't get anything from Sasuke at all. It's called unconditional love. Unconditional, no matter what anybody's saying, no matter what anybody's doing, no matter what he can get from Sasuke. It was, hey, you roll with me when we were children, and let me tell you, I got you for life. It don't matter who you turn into. I don't care what mistakes you make. I'm going to pull you. He said, I'll bring you back to the village if I have to break every bone in your body. He said, I'm going to bring you back.
Yeah, I think it had a lot to do with the way they were growing up too. You know, they both understood that they were alone for the most part, if anything. Though they were kind of treated differently by the village, like they always had the understanding of as far as like just being alone, you know.
That is fair.
Sasuke could have fucked Naruto's bitch. And Naruto still
Naruto would not give a fuck. Like,
I mean, technically,
you fucked my bitch. Okay.
Still would have been like,
I mean, he kind of went
this is not you, Sasuke. I'm gonna save you.
But
did with Sakura. Naruto.
Bro, Sakura was never Sakura was never
He
Naruto's
never
bitch.
was, but
He was
but
never.
it would be a lie to say at the times Naruto would probably be in the closet watching while they was getting it on.
Wow.
Sakura is sleazy as fuck too, bro. She is sleazy. When she tried to tell that nigga, I love, like, bitch, get the fuck out of my face.
She could have handled that much better. Now, mind you, there was the precursor to that was when Sai informed her that Naruto loves her dearly, and there was a reason behind why he was doing what he was doing, and it was like encumbering Naruto to the point where like he was just like losing his own sanity, just focusing on this one task and this one promise. And then once Sai recognized that somebody who's literally apathetic, who has no emotional intelligence at all, once he was able to see that Naruto loved her and he had to explain that to her, then that's when Sakura felt that. But she could have handled it better by having like more in-depth conversation as opposed to going to Naruto while everybody's around him. Kakashi, I think, who else? Yamato was there, Sai was there, like a whole bunch of people there. She could have handled that way more professionally.
She could have,
Like,
but she
just
didn't.
did it on the fly, and that's also due to Kishimoto's writing too. I mean, it was like it literally made us hate Sakura as a character. Like it was like, bro, like you were really trying to play my man. Like, chill.
Hey, but I think for better loyalty, and y'all could say this is mad controversial, a character willing to die for his people as a whole, I would have to bring that back to Eren. Because y'all can say he went about it the wrong way. Y'all can say that he brought some of the people with him to the grave, and that is true. But ultimately, he did what he had to do to save his people as a whole. Bro. And that came with him having to kill himself off and be the enemy to the world so everybody could forget the sins of his people that aren't even really all that bad of sins. They just been for too long.
Erwin had Captain America level leadership.
That's true.
That nigga, he probably had top 3 anime speeches ever.
I heard that speech and I was like, I'd die for that.
That shit, bro. That shit be getting me through some workouts, man. That shit be getting me through some workouts. That, I mean, like you said, that is a bit controversial, but I kind of get what you mean as far as him being
loyalty for country.
Bro, it was loyalty for kin. That wasn't even country. Because some of his own kin still would have thrown him under the bus. But he was fighting for them even if they didn't know it. And it's like, that's loyalty for kin. Being willing to get murdered by everybody in the world, including your own, so that your own can survive.
Yes, bro.
Bro, y'all know who else was loyal? The fucking Black Bulls. They be riding for each other crazy, bro. When they pulled up on fucking Langris after he was fucking Finroll up, like during that whole
move, bitch.
Like Finroll, the space.
Oh
maze,
yeah,
they all pulled up crazy.
His
like
brother
he was
bro.
Langris was about the office shit. Asta pulled up. Fucking Magna pulled up and look, they was like, nah, like another step and that's it.
Yeah. You fucking your ass up.
They pulled up crazy.
Brother was about to murk him off some jealousy shit, man. Like
one person we left off, Killua. Killua was loyal as fuck to God. This nigga betrayed his whole family.
That is true.
That is facts.
He betrayed his whole family for God. His family of assassins at that.
I can't really say it was betrayal because he got the okay from his dad. Like his dad understood. So I can't necessarily say that's betrayal.
He was going to leave anyway.
I mean,
it was more like, I'm going to let you do this. You know what I mean? Like,
but you also got to think like Killua went back to his family though. He ran away to go be a hunter, and then he went back, and they were torturing his ass. Okay. So I can't really say it was betrayal, if anything. But since we all talk
betrayal, okay. He went against his family. He went against all the brainwashing they did on him. I just feel like he's probably not the most loyal character, but I just feel like he was very loyal to God.
But I will say, and this is my loyal character. This is my most loyal character. And she's from the same universe. Neferpitou. Bro, when she was healing what was that? No, not Meryl.
Komugi.
Yeah. The king was like, don't leave this girl's sight at all. And then that's when Gon and Killua had came up. And Gon was like,
yeah, but they had chemical. They're ants. They like.
I know, like, but it's like this. It's like at that point in time, she could have murked Gon. I believe that she could have murked Gon if she wanted to, but the fact that she couldn't basically like disregard the king's word, like do not leave this girl's sight, and she was like, listen, please, I need to heal this girl. She broke her arm to make a statement.
Oh no,
I was like, capping. Wow.
Yeah, you're not capping.
I was like, wow. You have the power to murk this little boy, regardless of how mad he was. You have the power to murk him. But the word from your king, it was embedded in your mind. Like I cannot. Listen. I can't leave. Like I broke my arm. Please just wait. I was like, wow. That's loyalty right there.
You know, it's another interesting question. I think AJ already knows my answer. Who's the most disloyal character in anime?
Disloyal?
Ooh.
My number one draft pick, fucking Itachi. Oh my god! This nigga, if he ain't the most disloyal nigga I ever seen in my fucking life, this nigga killed his whole family. Okay, what y'all say about? He did it for the greater good. Oh, this nigga killed men, women, and children from his own clan.
Hey, but guess what?
High ground.
Guess what, my guy?
Because of his moral high ground.
Guess what? Since she want to defame.
Imagine you wake up and somebody in your family.
He was loyal to his brother.
But guess what, bro? Since you want to defame my man Itachi, this is for all the Itachi fans. The most disloyal character in Naruto fucking disloyaled everybody out of the war. How about that? He literally disassembled Kabuto. He was the only one that could disassemble Kabuto's jutsu. Guess what? The only weakness of this jutsu is me. Who had the hardest quote? And one of the hardest quotes in Naruto was definitely Itachi.
I mean,
shut that shit down.
If we're being honest, multiple people played the role of in the war. It wasn't just him.
Bro, Itachi had the most paramount,
like one of the most pivotal pieces right there.
Like he was the one who disassembled
was the one
the.
It was, but like
nobody else could do that.
Do any of y'all have siblings? Do any of y'all have siblings?
I'm the only child.
Other than me, obviously.
I do.
I'm the only child, man.
You do. All right, cool. And I know this is the real world, so bear with me. You know what? Fuck that. It's a whole race of people. Oh my God. Imagine your people fighting for rights to stop being oppressed. And one person in your race went around the country and just killed everybody in your race. That's for the greater good.
I mean,
it's
not even just one person.
You talking about Attack on Titan shit right now. That nigga did do that.
You can't really compare what Itachi did and what Eren is doing. You can't really compare that. It's somewhat.
Well, I'm talking about the initial fact of when he flipped, not the overall, because he did have to murder his own people, and he did do that without blinking an eye to initiate his move. Now, in terms of what Itachi did, he did that to specifically his own family first before he moved on to being a double agent and just killing people across the countryside.
Honestly, I think
that nigga is Hitler. He's literally Hitler. That nigga,
bro,
I wouldn't say that.
That's
no,
not no
genocided his
That's
whole race.
Christopher Columbus.
That would be Toby.
He just murked him. That's genocide.
All right,
bro, literally.
I got a disloyal character off the fly. Fucking Marshall D. Teach, Blackbeard. This nigga killed. This nigga literally waited on a ship and did not give a fuck about the Whitebeard pirates. He was on the ship for like 2 decades or some shit.
He was there for a grip since he was a kid until he about in his 30s.
For a kid, since a kid, bro. Nigga's a grown ass man now with a grown ass beard. Literally, this nigga killed what's the dude's name? Thatch. One of the captains, because he found this the dark fruit
he's been waiting for.
Yeah, he literally had a plan, like devised a whole plan or whatever. Killed dude with the dark fruit. Left the ship, abandoned the ship. Then went and found Ace, jumped Ace. Him and his crew jumped Ace, gave him to the fucking government, and then Ace got killed. And now he went in to go steal Whitebeard's fruit, stole his fruit, and now he's trying to steal more fruits. The whole premise of his crew is to steal fruits.
But like even like the piggyback off that, like think about it. He turned in Ace so he could become a warlord and acquire more. Then betrayed them niggas too. Like he just literally betraying everybody.
Bro, what? Oh, we're talking about disloyal.
Yeah, we're talking about Blackboard. Yeah, Blackbeard.
Bro, that shit was wild. I was pissed when Ace died, bro. I was like, damn, Luffy was going through it too, man. Hey, it's on site. When Akainu comes back and Luffy sees that nigga, bro, it is on site. If it's on site with Kaido,
it's on site with anybody, bro.
Then imagine how much of on site it's going to be when he see Akainu. It's going to be different. It's going to be different.
Disloyal. Have y'all seen Tower of God?
I haven't
seen that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, that bitch.
That blonde bitch.
Rachel. Oh my God.
Bro,
this dude was simping for her hard. Put a boot to his chest.
Bro, that was crazy. I was like, what? I'm like, damn, you should have listened to her. You shouldn't have followed her at all. Bro, that was crazy, man. I was like, damn. I got another one too, but go ahead.
I mean, we gotta put Aizen in there.
Oh shit! Yeah, you gotta put Aizen in there.
Oh, you're so right.
Yeah, that's right.
I was thinking, I mean, even like, would you consider like, I guess Annie from Attack on Titan, but towards the end, in the beginning when you saw it, when I first saw it, because I know like in hindsight you could say no, but when I first saw it and I realized that she was one of the Titans that was killing people, I was like, oh my gosh. At the time, I felt like that was a super disloyal moment. I would say Griffith too, but I don't think he was ever loyal to begin with, to be honest, because he was just so. It made it seem like because he was selfish, but I don't think he was ever loyal to begin with. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, that could still
that could still be disloyal. Yeah,
like if you're not loyal, then what are you? You're disloyal.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
Griffith is definitely up there.
All I'm gonna say is, if you have a Itachi in your circle, cut that nigga out. You might die in your sleep. That's all I'm gonna say.
Shit.
I mean, look, to touch on Itachi, one good thing he did was, they showed when he had a girlfriend, but before he killed her, he put her in a genjutsu and they lived a happy life together.
No, he didn't kill her.
No, he killed her.
He did not kill her. Itachi, that girl, Obito killed her. Obito snatched her ass up. He never.
He just watched his man kill her. Okay.
No, he didn't watch that shit.
He was gonna kill her anyway.
No.
She was in a genjutsu anyways, though, right?
Yeah, she was in a genjutsu and they lived a happy life.
But wasn't the normal? Because Shisui
killed his
had
mother and his father.
Shisui,
And they accepted that.
Shisui, this motherfucker AJ.
No, hold on.
It makes it even better.
That is some treacherous shit. Getting killed by your own kid. That is some treacherous shit.
But I thought it was because if Shisui hadn't died, didn't he had an ability to where he could have just put
Koto Matsukami
and like
Matsukami.
to where they wouldn't have to like do that, right?
Yeah, Koto Matsukami, Danzo came in and fucked shit
He
up.
fucked that shit up.
Really, the real villains are fucking Danzo and the elders, because they're the ones that put all that blood on Itachi's hands and then like literally
at a young age, man,
banished him from the village.
And the Hokage. And the Hokage.
And the third Hokage.
People always try to dismiss.
The third Hokage
they were oppressing the fuck out of them.
They were. You have to look at the decision
They were
makers.
oppressing the fuck out of
Who was delegating these specific tasks on the S rank level? Like they were literally planning out and devising the next 10 years of Konoha. And in order to do that, they had to literally go with a 13-year-old boy. 13-year-old boy to make this decision to kill off a whole entire clan. None of them wanted to do it.
That's a lot of pressure, man. You're 13.
I agree
You're
with
just
you.
getting
He
out of
was
your
manipulated.
Yeah.
You know, the only reason I'm going so hard right now is not because in all reality, Itachi's a little kid that was manipulated like fuck. He really was.
And that's
there's a big but in that. The argument everybody makes is he was a genius. He had the intelligence of a Hokage.
That
He's so gentle.
He respects the elders, though.
But wasn't we were talking about that last night? I was saying like, because Josh was saying like, but he's intelligent. Like he was very smart. He could have figured out another, like an alternative to that. I'm saying, well, regardless of how smart he is, this man is dealing with something. This is like politics shit right here.
Right.
That, you know how heavy of a burden that is? You're like, whoa, so you're telling me that I have to do this in order for this outcome to come? Whatever the fuck they fed him, he believed in that shit. Only a little kid would be that naive to believe, regardless of how intelligent you are.
A lot of kids went through manipulation and abuse. And you know what they didn't do?
Kill their family. I know, but
that's all. He's a fucking mass murderer. He's a fucking snake.
I got a perfect counter.
Like shit. Disloyal. And then he tried to pose himself. I had to do it.
The thing is,
I had to do it for the greater good.
I mean, why
don't you understand? Our people were trying to free themselves. Don't you understand? I had to kill them before they did. That nigga is Uncle Ruckus.
I just feel like, to an extent, there was some other outs. Like, can you imagine if like Itachi had let somebody like Kakashi or somebody know, or something like that? Because
he didn't trust anybody. Itachi didn't trust anyone.
I know. He. First of all, I don't know why you wouldn't trust Kakashi. He was literally like he was like your superior when you were on the ambush.
That's the thing though. The ambush directly under Danzo, so it's like we're good working together in ambu, but at the same time, you report to that man up there the whole that's the guy you listen to. So it's like
And I think y'all are overlooking us like a really, really important thing here. Being a genius is so multifaceted. You can be a genius in certain areas of life. But Itachi wasn't emotionally intelligent at all. He never imparted anything that he was going through to anybody, including his parents and people that were closest to him. Why the fuck would he tell Kakashi if he wouldn't even tell his own mom or dad?
Well, to counter that, he told Shisui.
He didn't tell Shisui everything.
He told him enough to the point where he was like, I need help. He knew that Danzo was coming after him. Shisui was also part. Wasn't he at Anbu too?
Shisui was. Shisui was.
And that's what I'm saying. He cared about him that much, and he reports up to Danzo, like you said. I just feel like if you would have I feel like he could have had more people to have his back with that type of situation.
He didn't have any friends for real. All he had was Shisui. That's literally all he had.
Yeah, he was a fucking nerd.
Shisui was also a part of that plan, though.
Yeah,
he was also a part of that plan.
The one thing I'll give Itachi is, realistically, we don't know, but I can see him at this point thinking, hey, if we fight back, everybody's going to die anyway, and there's just going to be more death. But is that really your call to make? Like, honestly? Like, you don't know what could have happened in that war. You really don't. Yeah, you can look at the parameters of it and be like, oh, maybe this will happen. But if this is your family, this is your blood, this is who raised you, this is your people, your bloodline, even if you're going to lose, like, wouldn't you rather fight with your own people? And you say, oh, he's a genius. What is genius about killing your own?
That's the thing.
Kid,
he's not. I was just explaining earlier. Genius is multifaceted. He's a genius, maybe in terms of battle IQ. Hence, why he took out Nagato in less than an episode, and Naruto and Killer Bee were getting their souls sucked out of him. That's genius. Itachi, literally, if you look at it from like a different lens, like him explaining his whole like emotional thing, his whole life was based on a lie because he wanted to protect his feelings. He didn't explain his feelings to anybody, including Sasuke. Like until after he died and some of his last breath when he was still alive. So I don't
think you could say he's not emotionally intelligent.
Bro, he's
though.
not emotionally.
The way that he was able to manipulate Sasuke and like
that's somebody else's emotions though. That's not his. He's not involving his emotions with anybody else.
But I think the only person he really ever
sociopath would be better because emotional intelligence is understanding emotions and how to use them, whether they're your own or another person's. Is more so he did what he had to do, or he did what he did in terms of his adolescence and not having emotional intelligence then. But probably as he got older, having the emotional intelligence to be like, okay, what I did had some ramifications, and now I have to make this shit work for what it is now.
I think that all came about like as he was getting older. I know that yeah. So that whole thing, though it may seem like he was pretty apathetic on what he did, I don't think he was totally unflappable. You know, especially when it came to his family.
Unflappable.
Right. Well, what he did, it wasn't necessarily.
I mean, like in other words, like it didn't, like he wasn't.
I know it's just a funny word.
Shut your goofy ass.
But I agree with you, bro.
Yeah.
Like what Itachi did, bro. I wouldn't necessarily say it was deontological.
Yeah.
But it wasn't necessarily deontological for the higher ups either.
Right.
Like both these people's decisions were corrupt, and
the village was corrupt,
right.
Bro. Like bro, a 13-year-old, 14-year-old, however the fuck he was like
12, I think.
Whatever. He was a kid. He was a kid.
Yeah,
and kids are naive.
But he was corrupted. You're saying, oh, everybody's involved, but the village, their reasoning was evil but logical. They're like, okay, these people are going to be a problem, so let's take them out. Like. Countries now do that today. Like, yes, it's evil, it's bad. That is his family, his people. It's not like he was some foreign body. He grew up around all these niggas and children. And he did the wet work for them.
Yeah, I get that.
If we're going to keep it a buck.
It even comes... Hold on, John. Let me just bring this point out. Listen, this can even be reflected in the reality, too. All right? Listen, I came across a video of this 12-year-old girl, okay? And she had a relationship with this 20, I believe he was like 20-something. Yes.
Raggy?
This guy manipulated this girl into killing her own family. This is real. This is a real case. I don't remember the name of the girl, but this guy manipulated her into killing her own family. And she went along with that. They did it together. for the sake of her being digmatized, I guess. I don't know. But the fact that she was a little girl, this is a grown man, manipulated this little girl into killing her family. So it's the same thing. Like, the Hidden Leaf manipulated Itachi to killing his entire clan along with his family. The only person you just so happened to not like do it to was fucking Sasuke, his little brother. Like, so I mean, like that right there, like in defense of Itachi, bruh, regardless of how intelligent he was, like him being a kid, he was still naive in certain areas. Like,
That's right.
And remember, this thing is about being loyal. Technically, you could say he was loyal to the Hidden Leaf.
Okay. Yeah. That is true. That is true. He was.
So loyal to the Hidden Leaf that killed your family.
That is fact.
So that's
he was loyal to the Hidden Leaf. He just wasn't loyal to his family.
No,
I
he
gotta-
was loyal to his family if
Sure.
you consider the fact that he kept his brother.
Kept his brother alive.
yeah,
Well, his dad actually, if y'all remember, his dad said, "Okay, what you're doing is okay. Just make sure Sasuke is taken care of." So basically, that was his dad saying, "Don't kill your little brother. Like, make sure he good." And then he adhered to what he had to say.
right.
But I mean, like because we have to wrap things up soon. But you have one more thing
yeah.
to part on this.
Do you
specific
think? Do you
topic?
think if his dad disagreed with him killing, like, you think if he reacted differently, do you think Itachi would have stopped?
I think if his dad reacted differently, because one thing about it, if you look at just the small amount of dialogue that they had, Itachi did have respect for his father.
Yeah.
So I do think it could have transitioned things to an extent. It just depends on how his dad would have angled the conversation. That's all I would say. I like, in terms of people who Itachi may have listened to, it would have either been the third, it would have either been Danzo, or it would have been Shisui or his dad. Those like the four main people that ever told Itachi to do anything, a mission or whatever.
I got one more, and then we can wrap things up.
What's up?
All right.
Quit.
Majin Vegeta. Majin Vegeta is disloyal as fuck. That man
He got manipulated too.
that's not manipulation.
And not only manipulated, he had like powers.
That was not manipulation. He let Babidi do that shit. He knew what the
Yeah, he explained why.
they basically they said, look, whatever damage y'all take, this thing is gonna come about. Simple. He knew the repercussions of what he did.
He had
Like,
Bulma hurt too. He killed everybody in the stands.
bro,
Y'all remember
he
that
killed
shit?
everybody in the stands. This man Goku was like, bruh, so you realize let this dude take control of you? Like, you're willing to be a slave? You're the prince of all Saiyans, right? Vegeta, without talking, aimed his hand at the crowd and killed all of those people.
Yeah, that shit
Like,
was wild.
that shit was wild.
That nigga sick.
Sick as fuck.
You can basically blame Vegeta for all that, basically for him receiving that major ass whooping from Kid Buu.
Okay.
If anything. Like,
the last topic. You still want to cover the last
Yeah,
topic?
get the last
All right,
topic.
let's get the last topic again. You go ahead.
So the last topic I pretty much just talk about today is, who do y'all think is the toughest anime sensei?
Koroko Sensei from Assassination Classroom.
That's tough. That's
Yo,
tough. That's
I
tough.
fuck with that. And why? Elaborate. Let me see if we got the same reason.
I mean, just his outlook, like what he actually did for those kids, because all those kids, some of them had like problems and everything. He was just willing to do so much for them. Like the whole thing, I don't know if everybody see it. I don't know if was he actually going to destroy the world? You think?
I don't think he actually was, but
Yeah.
he genuinely wanted to. Like, okay,
He had so much power, probably the most powerful thing on the planet. But he was like, I genuinely just want to help these kids just to be better. And like the way he went about it was crazy. I don't know. Have you seen it?
I've seen snippets of it. I haven't watched it since.
You seen it? But you got to see it, bro. And it's kind of it's very relatable. Like I could see, like, imagine like somebody watching the anime and be like, okay, I want to be a teacher off of this. That's literally how I felt about it. Assassination Classroom.
Yeah. The teacher looks like a big yellow balloon.
He's a wee squid.
Squid.
And not only that, they even developed these weapons that could actually harm him, like harm him in the classroom, and he just did not care. Like he was willing to take like damage and everything just for the sake of them learning
learning and getting better.
Okay.
For me personally, I would have to say Genkai from Yu Yu Hakusho, and let me tell you why. So obviously, she was like one of the strongest in her time.
That's facts.
And she was teaching Yusuke, even transfer like the spirit wave to him as well. Even like teaching all the other ones under her wing. But like one of the most important things she was teaching them, she was just like, Yusuke, you can't be the strongest forever. That's what I want you to know. Like, you cannot be the strongest forever. Like, I cannot be the strongest anymore since my body don't allow but so much. So she basically was just telling him that and then teaching that, like, you need to stop underestimating things, appreciate what you have, and, like, continue passing that on to others. That's the most important part. That's why I fuck with her so much.
That shit resonated. And that was sort of the same with Master Roshi in Dragon Ball. If y'all watched the original Dragon Ball, I think Master Roshi came back and he was like some sort of dressed up guy named Jackie Chun in a tournament. Yeah. And then his whole premise of doing that was to show Goku that there's going to be stronger opponents because Goku was at the top of that specific point of time. And then that kind of translated into Yu Hakusho when Genkai was telling Yusuke or teaching him the same lesson. Yeah. But my person is definitely Yami from Black Clover.
Yami,
like
that
me,
guy.
For me specifically, he would get me right, bro. What? Like, and he's just so, and I've said this before, like, he's just so nonchalant. And he just speaks with brevity every time. He's going to be like, bro, like, this is going to be the end of the line if you don't pass your limits.
Yeah.
Like, you're either going to die or you're going to continue to press forward. And, like, he told Asta that shit, and Asta is the perfect like, that's why Yami's the perfect captain for Asta. Because Asta
the perfect captain for the Black Bulls and
for the Black Bulls
everyone
in general,
in his team that he took under are misfits.
That's facts.
Misfits. Everyone else counted them out. But he said, I'm going to take you in. I'm going to take you in. And, bro, what they were awarded their first what was that again? When they're like awarded yearly?
Oh
it's
shit!
Like,
Fuck the terminology. Fucking forgot.
I forgot what it was.
I forgot what it was.
But it's like it builds up with depending on how many stars you get because they were always in the negative.
Yeah, that's
whatever.
True.
But yeah, nah, Yami, I fuck with Yami.
No, Yami got all of them right, bro. Him and Yasuda are like the perfect duo.
Man, what?
Bro, like when Yami passed him the sword. No look pass.
Oh shit!
Wild.
I ain't see that. That's manga.
Nah, that's anime.
That's an anime.
Oh, that's an anime. I need to finish that shit, man.
Watch that shit, bro. That shit.
I need to
crazy.
finish
You watch
that.
Black Clover?
I couldn't get past like the first couple episodes. I stay up with the manga, so I know what's going on, but I can't watch it.
I feel that the animation to me is not as good as it. It doesn't do.
It got better. It's just I just haven't kept up with it.
I feel that.
Does anybody else got anything else you want to ask for the wrap up?
Bro, go ahead.
I was gonna say because my memory is so trash and it's so bad. The only person that I could personally say as of now will be Gojo.
Oh shit!
And that's only
for sure.
And that's only because he's trying to train the next generation to have similar ideals and also be strong in those ideals.
For sure.
And then train them to also be able to do something about it instead of just being lackeys who follow a corrupt system that's going to kill them in the end.
And Gojo is like beyond OP, so it's like he chill as fuck, bro. Like, bro, Gojo is chill.
I would have said Saitama, but he don't really be teaching his.
He don't teach.
Bruh.
Jenna be getting fucked up. He's like, hey, you good, man?
Bro, no bullshit. Nonchalant. Nothing, like no emotion in his face.
After I failed you.
Bro.
I didn't get mad when Genosuke get fucked up. He showing emotion.
No, he did in the manga when Genos got fucked up. He showed
Damn,
up and
die,
he really put in that work. But then he also gave a life lesson at the same time.
I gotta say, damn, I forgot his name. Did y'all watch Mob Psycho?
Oh, Reagan, Master
yes.
Reagan.
Bruh.
You talking about the guy that
Let me explain, man. Because looking at your face, I can already tell. Like, he's like,
I'm not gonna lie.
let me just explain.
I'm not gonna lie to you. He is top tier for a
Bruh,
nigga with
he
no powers.
like just let me explain.
Okay. No, wait. Let me get this right. Is it the nigga that was conning him though? No. Man, what am I? I've seen.
Yes, bro. Please let me explain. I know when people see this shit, they were like, "What the fuck, Kenny?" Like, nah, bro. Like, listen. Yes, he be that man. He's a con man, but I fuck with what he's preaching to a mob. He's aware of how strong he is. He's very aware. This nigga like Kenny. What the fuck? He's aware of how strong mobs. He's very aware of how strong Shigeo is. So he constantly reminds him like, hey, look, you have these abilities, right? Do not use them on humans. Don't use them unless you have to, unless it's necessary. And whenever Mob is in a situation to where it is necessary, that like just that alone, it always I can't. Man, let's wrap this shit up. I can't even. What you mean.
It triggers in his mind.
It triggers in his mind. Even when he when one of the what are they called? The claw yeah. When one of the claw members had appeared and they mistaken his brother as him. And he tried to kidnap his brother and he was beating the shot. Even in that sense, bro, like it came up to mind, like, wait a minute. Master Reagan said, I can't use my powers against humans, but unless necessary. But in this situation, it has to be necessary. So I mean,
Josiah.
I would say like all that is good, but I'm gonna just explain it to you a little bit. So, so Mob has powers, right? And he can basically like see spiritual beings, and the guy had his own business where he didn't have any spiritual powers, but he would con and pretend that he could to do an exorcism and get money from that. So when he found out that Mob had the powers, he was using Mob to go out and basically make him money. So he would be making more money than Mob and give Mob like the change from that, or sometimes give him nothing. And yes, it was a good lesson, but to say that he's the best sensei or one of the best.
The reason, as far as like he's not teaching Mob how to con people though. That's the thing. Like that's just his way of living. But knowing that he has this boy. And this boy is looking up to him. Like yes, he's hold on. This is bad, but I'm trying to verbalize this as best as I can, but this nigga face is fucking me up.
Because like I understand what you're saying, but you cannot get past the fact that he's Mr. Krabs.
Okay, no.
But listen,
let me say
but
this.
People know that Mr. Krabs is cheap. Like he's not teaching Shigeo to be a con. He's not teaching him that. That's what I'm arguing.
No, what I'll say about this is he's trying to teach Shigeo morals and how to live a proper life, but also not living by those morals up until, I don't know if you finished the series, but as he progresses through the series,
he gets better.
Because he knows that he has a kid looking up to him and he can't continue those bad behaviors with a kid that's following him more than he follows his own.
Not only that, Mob is also getting better too, because the way his powers work, they're triggered due to his emotions. So it's like as the story progresses, he kind of like finds his way as well as like where he fits in at. Because it's a lot of shit that fucks with him mentally. Like for real, if anything, I think for real he thinks that his power is a curse to him.
I'd say more a burden than a curse.
Well, like a burden,
Yeah, because he's not upset for having the powers. He just knows that if he lets things get out of control, then out of control will fuck shit.
Right. Because what haunts him is what we haven't seen it, but what happened, it was something that happened with his brother, his younger brother. I think it was something with some kids. They were messing with them.
Oh yeah, and he accidentally almost like killed 4 kids. And that was when he was a little toddler, a little tight.
Yeah.
In terms of like, because I don't want to spoil nothing if nobody finished it, but if you've seen like the last 3 or 4 episodes of Mob Psycho, because they completed the entire series, if you see those, that's what he is like when his powers are completely unleashed with no hinges. And then the only person that saves him, and this is kind of a bit of a spoiler, is the one person he looks up to, and he does it in a way that full circles and helps you understand why he's such a great sensei.
Yeah, I need to finish Mob. Yeah.
You already said Genkai.
Yeah, you already said Genkai.
All right, that's cool. I mean, we slept on this one character, but the Eraserhead, shout out to Aizawa, we're definitely sleeping on him for sure. Like he rides or dies for his students. Yeah. Like he would literally die for his students. Like in the anime, he's like, "Yo, you fuck with my students?" Like that's literally like his go-to quote. Like if somebody fucking with UA, he's like, "Oh nah, like let me take my eyes out. Like, you fucking with my students," type shit.
Get dry eye to the max.
Right, literally. Get
Bro,
you put the
that shit-
hatches out.
That shit was Shigaraki, bro. And they kept on having like what was his name, bro?
Oh, the dude that was putting the he was keeping his
wetting up
eyes
his
moisturized.
eyes,
Yeah. Yeah, bro. Like, don't sleep on Eraserhead, bro. He'll get the job done. But shit, we gonna start wrapping shit up. We want to thank everybody for tuning in to the Chakra Network. Again, if you are an anime fan or a manga reader, go smash that subscribe button, hit that like button, and ring that notification bell so you'll be notified every single time we drop some content. Also, tap in with us on Spotify, TikTok, and Instagram. We're live up there. Again, we just hit 1,000 followers, so shout out to y'all. And obviously, we're gonna get up with y'all next time. Peace.